All right, we think we're good now. I think we're good now. I think it is a good time to go on ahead and just get started. Let it fly, let it roll, let it do what it do. Hello, everybody, and welcome to an episode of, as you see in the corner, The Solo Show. Usually I have interviews on Thursday for Behind Them Sticks. This week, I didn't have a guest set up because I took that vacation and forgot this specific week. But next week, we'll continue with more episodes of Behind Them Sticks. But as for this week, we got some just fun gaming stuff to talk about now. I have a ton of different things that I wanted to go over. You may have seen it in the thumbnail, you may have not, yada yada, whatever. I'm going to be getting into it a little bit here today. It should be pretty fun, definitely pretty interesting. Let's see how today goes, because I definitely want to continue to do something like this for those times that I do not have an episode of Behind Them Sticks. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Sit back, kick it. Listen to your boy spit some news out that's been going on. Kind of interested in talking about. So let's go on ahead and bring up the first subject that I wanted to talk about a little bit, which is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. It gets even bigger and bloodier. And I tell you what, I just recently got this first game for the 360. Bunty, what's going on, man? I appreciate you for stopping through, hitting that like button and whatnot. But anyways, this is a game that I'm really excited over. And like I just said, I just literally got the 360 version of this game because that's what I'm looking forward to. But I haven't played the first one yet. So I figured, why the hell not go back, try it out, so I could see if I really want to purchase the very next one that comes out. But anyways, a little bit of this article that I really just wanted to read real quick is down here in the third paragraph right here, where it says, the first thing I noticed was Space Marines 2's attention to detail as the game opens up on Titus with his new squad on their way to support the Cadians. I'm probably saying that wrong. On the planet's surface. I felt like the once upon a time in Hollywood meme pointing my fingers at the screen as excitedly picked up on a little detail on Astrate's armor or individual troops or tanks littered across the battlefield, but I believe it is with smart design and appreciation for the source that the game can also feel approachable to those with fresh eyes too. So that one's me right there. I'm the guy with the fresh eyes, but like I said, I'm gonna try out the other one, but it looks so dang meaty and it looks really good. It just looks clean as hell. I remember the first time I seen the Space Marine trailer. It was in I think it was no, it wasn't Summer Games Fest. It was Game of the Year. The Game of the Year show, or the Game Award show with Jeff Keighley, I believe, back in 2022, I want to say. I think it was 2021, because I think it was the same year that I seen Senua. I was just like, man, this game is absolutely beautiful. Definitely something that I'm looking forward to, and I just wanted to keep it in your guys' headspace. Don't sleep on Space Marine 2. I think it's going to be a phenomenal looking game. If you're into stuff like not Borderlands, excuse me, Gears of War, it looks wild. Like Gears of War, big old guys shooting a whole lot, just tearing things up. If you're into that stuff, check out this game when it comes out later on, I believe in early 2024. But speaking of early 2024, I wanted to go down and talk just briefly about S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chernobyl. It got delayed into early 2024, but they did have some people play testing it out in Gamescom as of recently. Oh, what's cracking, Richie? Check your DMs and make sure you DM me back at HamSolo05 Gaming, so I can make sure to get that to you. I actually could not. I looked for a few different for a few days, and I could not find any site that did $10 Canadian for Steam. I'm trying to get you that $10 voucher, brother. But I think I hit you up like last night or maybe the night before or something like that, saying, "Yo, like, I don't know where to get this from." So let me know if there's another one, like maybe an Xbox voucher or a PlayStation voucher, something like that I can do. I'm just not sure where to find the Steam one, and I don't want to use some weird website that I've never heard of before to get that to you. But yeah, go on ahead and holler at your boy. But anyways, Harder Chernobyl delayed to 2024. New trailer released though, so let's go on ahead and check out the trailer. I don't know if this is gonna be something that gives me a copyright claim or something like that. I'll play the sound here in just a moment, but I'm definitely gonna wait until this ad is done. Let me just double check that I have my sound on the right spot so you guys will be able to hear it. All right, so bam. That will be where it is, and you guys should be able to hear it.
I was attacked while on a job. I got hit in the head, and when I woke up, I was in almost nothing but my birthday suit. Here's your bolt.
Where the hell would I need a bolt?
Take a look around.
Oh, crap.
Door! Open the door! I've got nowhere to go back to, Herman. Over and out.
Как спали. Ну, чё там?
Готово.
Ну и пошли они нахрен.
Sorry, dog. No. So what we're doing real quick, Rachie said no sound. I forgot I muted myself so you guys could hear the last trailer. Sorry about that, Web Dave, Rachie. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I went to the original gameplay trailer because personally, I feel like I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but the old trailer of Stalker 2 felt like it looked a little bit more realistic than the most recent trailer that I just seen. So that's what I'm doing real quick in case you're like, why is he going to this other Stalker gameplay trailer? It's because I'm kind of comparing, contrasting the two real quick. So I want to check out this video. We're not going to sit here for the whole 5 minutes of it, but we're definitely going to check this out for a little bit. And then, you know what? I'm going to bust open the other one as well real quick, just so we have it ready to go. And we're going to make sure that it's all high quality, spiffed out. And so this one only goes, oh, okay. So is this not the original one? GameSpot trailers? Probably not. I want to see the most recent one. Let's try this one. Maybe this GameSpot whatever one might be in higher definition. There we go. All right. My computer only goes, my screens only go up to 1440 and my stream only goes up to 1440. So I'm not going to waste the bandwidth on 4K. But let's go on ahead and check out because I believe this one's going to be the new one. Just going through it just to double check. Yeah, it is. So let's go on ahead and go back to the old one real quick. Watch just a little bit of that. And then we're going to run it back on the other one. And I'll full screen it for you guys so you can see.
Ну, чё там?
Готово.
Ну и пошли они нахрен.
Спасибо тебе. Ты многим сталкерам жизнь спас.
Ну, давай, малюй картину маслом. Вот поэтому я ни в какие разборки и не лезу. Не хочу пулю поймать.
Ну, не знаю. Между аномалией и маслиной я уже лучше пулю выберу.
Got hit in the head, and when I woke up, I was in almost nothing but my birthday suit.
Here's your bolt.
Where the hell would I need a bolt?
Take a look around.
Crap.
Вот ты говоришь, а я прям вижу красоту эту. Не первый год в зоне, вроде примелькалась уже. а каждый день удивляет.
Зона надоесть не может. Говорят, ты знаешь, где вход в фундамент.
Узнаешь мотив? Слышал? Вот это культура! А ты одно и то же по кругу лобаешь.
Сам же
For some reason, I just don't feel like this is as crispy looking as the other one. I just don't. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to go back and look at the car detail or something like that in the other one. Like, doesn't the other one show some of the car details or something like that? Like I know this is simple, stupid shit that doesn't really need to be cared about or looked at, really, but I'm just interested. I'm curious how you guys feel. I just don't know. I just feel like there's just a little more detail, and you know, maybe they're just running it off of something different. Maybe the I I don't know. I just think it looks more crispy in the original trailer than it looks in this one. But anyways, either way, the game is delayed until the first quarter of 2024, that being Stalker. So definitely I still look forward to it. I'm excited to play it. But yeah, I just don't know. I just need to see more. Like I'm for certain that Space Marine is going to come out looking fantastic, phenomenal. But yeah, Rachie said I still have the pre-install from 2020. That's a relic at this point, bro. That thing is an absolute relic. Continuing on to the next piece of news right here that I wanted to throw up on there. Call of Duty, which I mean, a lot of us kind of get it, but I'm sure a ton of us assumed that as soon as this deal goes through for Activision Blizzard, that we'd probably start getting Call of Duty games soon after it. But here they are trying to temper our expectations for it and not wanting us to, you know, get way too ahead of us ourselves with this article from GameSpot written by Haley Williams, saying Call of Duty won't appear on Game Pass immediately if the Activision Blizzard deal closes. Phil Spencer has tempered expectations around Call of Duty on Game Pass in a new interview. And it continues to say, with Microsoft's massive deal to acquire Activision Blizzard looking more and more likely to close, it's time to start looking at what it will actually mean for the industry. In a new interview with IGN, Phil Spencer has tempered expectations around the Activision Blizzard games on Game Pass, warning that there is actual work, or there is work to actually move games over to Game Pass. People think the deal is going to close and everything available on Game Pass. That's not true, Spencer said. When answering a question about Call of Duty coming to Microsoft's subscription service, Microsoft's gaming subscription service or whatever. There's work for us to go through, just mechanical work. It will take us time to get the games up for sure. So like if you're expecting it to go up right away, that'd be wild. They're gonna want to be able to do stuff to implement in things that are, you know, directly involved with Game Pass. So possibly, you know, maybe battle passes or maybe some sort of deal off on it. And don't forget, you get all these different deals on the Game Pass on games that are in Game Pass as they are. I'm sure it's not just some 5-minute thing that they can just do or figure out or just say and get done in in a few minutes. So they're actually going to need a little bit of time to do this. Also, picking from their category, Activision is a large company with a lot of IPs, so they got to figure out what games are allowed to be on there, what licensings are allowed to be continuously used. All the jargon with that. Continuing with some of the Call of Duty games as well, some of the licensing in that may have expired, or who knows what's really going on behind the scenes with all of that stuff. So this is the stuff that you may need to kind of peep game to, instead of, you know, thinking that this is going to happen in the snap of a finger. Although that's what we'd like to happen, it's just highly unlikely. Um, what I think will actually end up happening is you'll start to see like a trickle of games coming in. I don't think they're just gonna like just suplex Game Pass with a ton of crazy games or whatnot. I think, eventually it will be a ton of crazy games and stuff like that, but I don't think they're just going to come right out and just open the floodgates and just push all of Activision's IP on into Game Pass. It's going to definitely take some time. He adds that this delay isn't specific to Activision Blizzard acquisition, Activision Blizzard acquisition, noting that Microsoft's previous acquisitions have always required time to get native games up on Game Pass. Looking back to Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda in 2021, it definitely didn't take long before Bethesda's games started appearing on Game Pass, with 20 titles from the studio's back catalog added just 3 days after the deal was finalized. During the interview, Spencer was careful to avoid going into specifics about Call of Duty game on Game Pass. Being the topic back to discussion, Microsoft's proposed deal with Ubisoft and how it relates to its ongoing negotiations with the UK's CMA. So, that's a whole lot of stuff to have to deal with and whatnot, especially with this whole Ubisoft thing kicking inside the picture as of right now. But I tell you what, I'm pretty excited for this next topic. This next topic is going to be pretty interesting because I've seen some various takes on this next one right here, and you can see me pulling it up pretty much right then and there. And the thing that I'm here to talk about right now is just absolute silly idea that PlayStation decided to come with, that people, of course, are out here trying to defend and say that, oh yeah, this is a great idea. This is great. It's helpful. It works. Sure, it might work, but who needs this specific thing, right? So Rachie says, I don't care about Call of Duty. Give me Madagascar video game published by Activision. My goodness, brother. My goodness. Anyway, so this right here, as you see, the PlayStation portal is out here. And as the article reads, PlayStation's first remote play dedicated device, PlayStation Portal Remote Player, to launch later this year at 200 smackaroos. 200 smackaroos to continue to play inside your house, just on a different chair. That's what you're paying for, is to pay to sit somewhere else in your house and continue to play the game without dragging your console with you. A dedicated device to do so, because you could have done this already with a PS5 remote in your phone. Some people say, oh, but the phone is small. The screen isn't quite right. Yada, yada, yada. Use a tablet. You can use a PC to do that. I don't care what anybody tells me. This product is dumb. And not only is it silly, but like it's getting touted by certain people as if this is a pretty good idea, or I get the reason why they didn't. No, I literally don't understand why they thought they needed to make a production line for something like this. $200 for a screen with a piece of a controller here and a piece of a controller here. To me, it's just stupid. I mean, the design is to me, but the design isn't the main issue. The main issue is what it's capable of, or better yet, what it's not capable of. Don't you find it weird that you can purchase this streaming device, but you cannot use PlayStation Plus Premium to stream games? You got a streaming device, but you can't stream games. You can't play stream games on the stream device. Which I'm sure technically that probably sounds about right, because I tell you, you can't, like, I don't know. I know on Xbox you can't like do certain things when you're streaming, I guess. But this is a video game device. You have less access to video games using this. I don't get it. When I turn on the Xbox app and play Game Pass, like I understand that's cloud, right? I understand that's the cloud. It's not remote playing off of my console. Sure. But I have access to the same Game Pass library that I did on my console. You see what I'm saying? I have all the same access to all the same games. So I just don't get it. I really don't. When I go to cloud, when I go to remote play, I can download anything on there to my and see, this is the problem with PS Plus Premium and this being part of the mix. You cannot natively download every game off of PlayStation Plus Premium. A ton of their games are stream only. So for this device, forget about playing any PS3 games. Not happening. PS3 is not something you can do with this device. Even if you paid for PlayStation Plus Premium to play streamed games for the PS3 because you missed out on that generation, well, you can't play it with that device either. You know what else you can't do with that device? Bluetooth connection, which sounds basic, but you can't do it because they have something dedicated called the PlayStation Link that is supposed to be oh so much better for latency, which I'm sure it probably is, because it's only having to communicate with the only other things that can pick up the signal. It's not communicating and trying to pick up all these other signals. Oh, picking up your neighbor from downstairs or upstairs or whatever off of Bluetooth. It's just picking up whatever the PlayStation Link signal can give out. So those different frequencies, I guess, and I guess it works out better for them because they have some special software for it. But I just think it's wild. I mean, sure, you got the 3.5 millimeter jack that you can plug into you can plug your headset in, but I mean, a lot of stuff don't even have headsets anymore. Which is, I mean, I'm not going to say it's bad to have more. More is good. You took away an option, but gave me another. Even though the other option is more sought after nowadays. Even Apple's seen that and got rid of the 3.5 jack, right? They're like, get that out of here. They'll figure it out. People did. But Sony's like, since we're putting in our own dedicated type of Bluetooth, we're going to put this 3.5 millimeter jack in so we don't get in total shit. And we can still like use some cheap ass parts to throw that shit in there. I'm sorry, this thing stinks. The buds look kind of cool though. The buds look cool. $200. I'm not sure if I'm ready to do that, but I do like the idea of buds. I do. I think they're pretty nice. I don't know what the hell this is. This is, I mean, I know it's called the Pulse Elite, but why does it look like it has two microphones? This thing looks weird. They have a lot of peripherals. PlayStation's got a lot of peripherals this time around, and I tell you what, not all of them make a whole lot of sense to me. Mostly this one. You got to have good Wi-Fi connection. As a matter of fact, I think it's like Marcus Brown Lee or something like that said something interesting. I'm actually going to go find that real quick. Yeah, he had this to say about it. So, peep game right here.
With an 8-inch. Okay, so Sony just announced something called the PlayStation Portal. This is a portable gaming handheld with an 8-inch screen and DualSense controllers with all the same haptics as a normal controller, so you can experience PS5 games anywhere you go. And it's only $199, which seems pretty sweet. But then the thing is, the more I look into it, the worse it gets. First of all, it is a remote player accessory, so there's no local processing happening. It's not a console. So your PS5 has to be on and connected to the internet to do all the work. All right, fine. But worst of all, by far, is this thing doesn't have Bluetooth, so the only way to use wireless headphones officially is to use some PlayStation Link compatible headset, like the new $200 PlayStation Pulse Explorer earbuds. That might be the most outwardly anti-consumer feature in a new gadget I've seen in a long time. That's like, imagine if the new iPhone comes out and there's no Bluetooth this year and there's no headphone jack. So in order to use headphones, there's a new Apple wireless audio protocol that only works with AirPods. Even for Apple, that would be crazy. Tim, don't get any ideas. Okay, so Sony just announced something called the PlayStation Portal.
All right. Oh my goodness. I'm having a problem with the mute button today. I am, because that's twice now. That is twice that's happened. So I'll just go back. So so the first star says the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers features are only available when those features are supported by the game being played, which makes total sense. That's fine. That makes sense. It just means whatever game you're playing needs to have the function for the haptic feedback and the triggers and all that stuff to work on your handheld device. That's fine. That's fine. The second, like, double asterisk thing that it has right there that is right above the highlighted part that I was on, but I was muted the whole fucking time. But anyways, man, I need to get better at that. Or better yet, I need to just use my fucking headphones because I just bought these headphones, but they have a USB. It has a micro USB, and I fucking hate micro USB, so I think I'm gonna probably take it back tomorrow. But anyways, continuing on this double asterisk or whatever you want to call it, the one above the highlighted one I was just talking about, it says requires broadband internet Wi-Fi with at least 5 megabits for use. Not bad, actually, really good. If you just want to use the bare minimum, like for going to my mom's house, she has shit internet. That would be great. Only needing 5 megabytes, not bad. And then it says for better player experience, a high speed connection of at least 15 megabits per second is recommended. Still not bad, especially here at home. I get up to a gig, right? Wi-Fi. I mean, obviously, I ain't getting up to a gig on Wi-Fi, but I'm just saying, like, my hardline connection is up to a gig. So that sounds decent, right? I'm still not gonna buy. I'm not gonna spend $200 to try it out, but that sounds pretty reasonable for people that are looking to get this. It's not too demanding. But the 3 asterisks there on the bottom, the one in the really fine print that you can't really see there that I have highlighted. Yeah, I'll go ahead and read that one real quick. It says games. Check this shit out. It says games that require a VR headset, PlayStation VR or PlayStation VR 2, or additional peripherals other than a DualShock 4, DualSense, or DualSense Edge wireless controller are not compatible. Games, my favorite part right here, games that must be streamed on PS5 using the PlayStation Plus Premium membership are not compatible. So this goes back to what I was just saying a little bit ago. You cannot play any PS3 games on this thing. You can't play anything that's only streamable. So cloud, it's just stupid. There's just too many gates for this thing to be reasonable for somebody like me to want to purchase. I seen somebody with a short clip video talking about it yesterday, how they were talking about, oh, it has the PlayStation Link and it should be pretty good. There should be extra low latency because of it. But at the end of the video, as a matter of fact, let me just pull it up. Might as well just fucking watch it for yourself. So, I mean, I don't want to sit here and just misquote the shit out of somebody. So I might as well pull it up. I know I posted it. I think it was yesterday. So, I think it was yesterday that I posted it. Maybe it wasn't. I'm about to say, fuck it. I'm about to say, yep, fuck it. But I'm pretty sure, actually, I'm going to look up this person. Let's get a little messy. Fuck it. Let's get it. So I'm pretty sure he posted it, Nib, which I don't have any problem with Nib. Nib is fine.
The Portal is a $200 handheld device that puts PS5 games in the palm of your hand, as long as you're on Wi-Fi. Previously known as Project Q, Portal uses the PS5's Remote Play feature to stream games from your console. Importantly, the Portal also offers all of the features and ergonomics of the PS5's excellent DualSense controller, including haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, and its touchpad. Remote Play has existed since the PS3 era, allowing you to stream games from your console to a handheld or smartphones, tablets, PCs, and Macs. That said, Remote Play has never really been an ideal experience. You're either compromising on visual quality, control setup, ergonomics, or some combination of the above. You can make it work, but it's not super convenient. So the goal of PlayStation Portal is to eliminate all of those pain points and make Remote Play as easy as just picking it up and playing. The Portal can do something that other Remote Play devices can't, which is wake up your PS5 just by turning it on, so it's ready to go. Its design essentially takes a standard DualSense controller, chops it in half, and then slaps those two controller grips to the side of an 8-inch 1080p LCD display. It's definitely a little weird when you're used to the more singular-looking designs of current handhelds like the Nintendo Switch and Valve Steam Deck, but it's also lighter than either of those while still giving you both a large screen and full-size controls. The DualSense grips feel exactly like a regular DualSense controller, and all of their best features are available here. Trying it out with Astro's Playroom, I could feel the haptic showcase just as well as when I experienced it on a DualSense, and the Portal's adaptive triggers simulate the pull of Aloy's bow in Horizon Forbidden West in exactly the same way. Even the DualSense's touchpad is available, though instead of the single center pad, there are two touch areas that pop up in the bottom left and right of the display where you touch it. There's a USB-C port for charging, a 3.5mm jack for wired headphones, and a small pair of speaker grills if you don't want to use headphones. Connectivity-wise, it supports Wi-Fi and
At least it has
PlayStation
speakers.
Link. Now, the last question I know a lot of people are wondering is, who exactly is this device for? It's $200 for a remote access window into your PS5. And at that price, honestly, I kind of get it. For the times when somebody else wants to use the TV, or maybe you have small kids in the home and you don't want to put God of War on the big screen.
Oh my god.
Or maybe you just want to be able to play in a different room without buying another full-on TV.
No. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't care how many times they explain, oh, in case you don't want to take up the TV. Half of the people that I know I could be wrong, but some people use the native apps on their TV to watch TV shows and whatnot, and some people actually just use their console. I just use my console when I'm watching a show and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure I'm not even signed in to any of my accounts on my smart TVs. I'm just always, I'd rather just have the quick access of being on the Xbox, just getting around. I could be wrong about that, but I know what I'm not. This person said in lieu of buying another TV or what, a PS5 or whatever, I'll just play on this. I just don't feel like this is solving any problems for anybody. Sorry. I just don't. But I think that's enough about this device. I gave it way more attention than I probably need to. Let's go on ahead and move on to, I think it might even be one of the last topics I talk about, which is the topic that I could not wait to talk about throughout this whole time, which is all this Phil Spencer stuff. That's been going on. Hey, what up, Cloud Gamer 74? What's cracking? Thank you for stopping through on the stream. Good to see you. Ray Chi says TV on console is great because you already have your headsets connected to your on your control. Exactly. So I mean, I did have a few friends after I sat and thought about it for a second. I was like, yeah, well, I guess I do know some people that prefer using their smart TV remotes and stuff like that to watch the TV shows. Some people say that it looks better or something like that. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I don't know. I don't care enough about TV to look into all that stuff. But I just care about playing the video games for the most part, and TV shows I can watch I can watch that in damn near any resolution as long as it's like not a brand new like movie or action pack kind of thing. Then you want the whole like Dolby sound and the HDR and all that stuff. No, most of the time I'm watching something stupid like Married with Children or something, or I don't know, just whatever show, Bernie Mac show or something like that. I don't need 4K HDR to watch the Bernie Mac show or Chappelle show or something like that. I don't need that. But yeah, I'm happy you got to catch me live as well. Thank you so much for showing up, brother. Thank you. But anyways, the main meat and potatoes that I wanted to talk to today that I was pretty psyched, and really this whole stream is all about, is just how much Phil Spencer has been out here just chatting it up, just chatty Cathy out here talking to everybody about every damn thing. So I definitely want to get into those or not two, but a few interviews. And let's start it out with something fun, something, quick and easy to go over and talk about. So Peter OVO, pretty dope brother. I follow on Twitter. I'm pretty sure he follows me back. I don't know. I don't really care. But he says Phil Spencer has played Starfield 15 times. So let's go on ahead and listen to that. I thought this was goofy.
Okay, so we're super excited for Starfield. But
Super excited.
I am.
So I think I'm on my 15th playthrough. I'm probably 200 hours in, but not on one playthrough. Because we changed save game formats, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I started in November, but I'm playing, I think on my final character playthrough, total space pirate. Man, I'm total space pirate. I think it's more Oblivion than Skyrim. For people who play, maybe they'll get that. It is an epic, epic game.
Okay, so
I wanted to hear, what do you guys think about that? So you heard him say that he feels like this is more Oblivion than Skyrim. What does that mean to you? Because I don't know. I don't know what that means to me, particularly. But I thought that was pretty cool. 15 damn times. He said he started back in like November and all the way up into now. 15 damn playthroughs, like 200 hours. That's insane. But let's check out some of this. We're gonna kind of one more. Here's another short one because we have like 3 long ones to go over. That's gonna take up most of the time. So if you haven't noticed, I've already been on for almost an hour. Jeez Louise. Well, we got dang near another like 45 minutes to go because of this. So just sit tight, grab yourself a drink, sit down. You're going to hear a lot of different stuff. I'm going to be pausing it quite a bit, talking about what I think about it. If you guys want to chime in and speak on it, you're more than welcome. More than happy to have a conversation with any of you guys in the chat. Thank you so much for everybody that's pulled up and hit the like button and whatnot. I appreciate y'all. Let's get to the second quick video before we get into the long.
First party is here. 2022 was too dry. We're kind of where we had hoped we'd be, maybe.
Hold on, Phil been drinking. I swear this dude had a few drinks earlier because bro is out here feeling himself. He is feeling himself. And I tell you what, you love to see it. You love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Let's go on ahead.
First party is here. 2022 was too dry. We're kind of where we had hoped we'd be maybe 2 years ago from, Starfield and Forza, but then you kind of go to Towerborn and Era. You go to like the Hellblade we've showed about. It is just awesome to be back to a point where we've got an incredibly exciting lineup of games that we can be here with 50,000 square feet of Xbox booth to show them off. So it's great. First party is here.
So I don't really think he's drunk, but I think he's just really excited. I think he is really excited, and he is just finally happy to enjoy the slide that he built. He's been building this slide for a long time. It didn't work, and it didn't work, and it didn't work, and it's finally starting to come together and work properly, and he's just like, God, fuck yeah, let's go. And I feel that. I see that through watching him talk right there. So I thought that was excellent. Let's see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Matt Likes Games pulls up and says, that got me hyped. I'm assuming you're probably talking about Oblivion. Yes, he is, because he continues to say playing Oblivion right now, and it's a whole new experience. Super interesting. You know what, Matt? I really kind of want to try it out for my goddamn self because I've never actually got to play Oblivion. Never played it. Never played it. Like I said, I actually told you this. I think it was either last year or the year before when we heard about Starfield earlier, way before it was even coming out. I was like, dude, I'm so psyched. Part of the reason I'm so psyched for Starfield is because I'll be there for a Bethesda game and have knowledge of it day one. The only Bethesda game that I've ever had and played day one was Fallout 4. And I never beat it because I had just moved to Denver, I literally met my roommates like 2 days before no, not even met him. I talked to him on the phone like 2 days before I even moved there and never even met him. So I met him as I was pretty much moving in. It was crazy. But anyways, so I was there day one for Fallout 4 because I wanted a new game to play when I moved into there, just because I wasn't sure how much I was going to end up kicking it with him. 2 months later, ended up meeting my future wife, and I never really got into. I took kind of a break from video games after I bought Fallout 4. Sad, but it was only a short break because I was into Ark like 8 months later. Ark Survival Evolved, and that game trapped me. That game put me in prison. I was down bad for that game. But anyways, yeah. I'm really excited for what I'm hearing, but yeah, I'm really excited to be there from the jump with Starfield, because it'll be my first Bethesda game that I've actually paid close attention to before it came out, and I see why people get hyped for Bethesda games now and stuff like that. They definitely sell really well, although I've been saying that like the advertising was kind of meh. I was saying that a little while ago. I was saying the advertising was meh. I corrected myself and said, you know what? I'll take that L. That's fine. I was wrong about the advertising because this is everywhere now. But yeah, I'm just super stoked. I don't even really have a whole lot more to say. Let's continue on with the next video with this, and we really want to get into that first part of the interview with Phil Spencer and let me go on ahead and mute this, with Phil Spencer and Destin Legary. So this is like a 15-minute to 20-minute half of the interview. I think this first part is. Oh, it's only 12. Okay, it's only 12. So let's sit back, listen to this a little bit. I'll pause it, as I said before, chat a little bit as necessary. Let's go.
Ecosystem is a busy job, but our next guest took time from his busy schedule to pay us a visit.
Big congrats to Destin for being able to interview Phil Spencer and whatnot again. I know he's always around, but let's listen.
About Xbox.
It's awesome to be here at Gamescom. I haven't been since 2017.
Really?
So yeah, were you here last year?
Nope, I skipped last year.
I am like just jazzed. It's so cool to see everybody, and it's fantastic to be at Gamescom. I guess the biggest consumer game show on the planet.
It's huge. Yeah. You know what else was cool to see?
Before I go there, let me do what I promised and read off some of that stuff in the chat. So, Matt says Phil was loose. Yeah, he was feeling himself. Yeah, I mean, he's feeling pretty damn good. Cloud Gamer 74 says I have a feeling Xbox mid-gen refresh will be a handheld. That would be nice. Really, anything to make the consoles cheaper is where. That's the type of mid-gen refreshes that I liked, was like the 360 days and like the PS3 days, where the only really real reason for a refresh was to make them more easy to purchase, not to make a whole new console and resell you another product for as much or more than the last console costs. Like, to me, no, thank you. I'm good. But let's continue with this. Oh, wait. Rachie says Aura is the game all weebs are waiting for. I seen some of that Gamescom thing, and I was just like, I am really not interested in this game. Like, I'm sorry, Ara. I'm sure you. I mean, it was looking clean. The game looked clean, but it wasn't the type of gameplay that I'm interested in at all. So, and then Matt Likes Game says this will also be my first Bethesda game day one. To be honest, wow, that's crazy to hear because I know that you play a ton of different Bethesda titles and whatnot. I mean, the amount of time you have in Skyrim is disgusting. Fallout. Yeah, I think your Fallout time is even worse, possibly. I don't remember exactly. But Ray Chi in the chat saying Skyrim adventure or advertising was legendary. I bet it was. I bet it was. I'm late, says Big Mad Mo. Good evening, folks. Good to see you, Big Mad Mo. I'm here listening to Phil Spencer just jabber, because he's been talking a lot. So let's go on ahead and continue. We're right at the very beginning of it, like 30 seconds in, and they haven't even really gotten to any topics yet. So let's go on ahead.
That Starfield presentation that you and Todd introed a little bit ago.
It's all Todd.
Yeah.
I was there to intro Todd.
Yeah.
That's my job.
You were the setup guy.
I carry his bag and I intro him.
Starfield's a huge moment for Xbox, obviously. When is the last time Xbox has had a moment this big?
I think, every month, every time we're doing something that changes, hopefully enhances a customer's experience on Xbox is important. You think about big new IP that has launched on the platform. I might go back to like Gears 1. I don't know, like a game that is brand new IP. It's Todd's first game in the BGS team as part of Xbox launching on the platform. It's a big moment, and I'm proud that we were able to give them time and really, really happy with the results. You have a build,
yeah,
but you're not playing because you're working.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say about it, so I don't want to break embargo.
Have you booted it?
I have turned it on.
That's an embargo break. Like,
oh no! Well, I'm blacklisted now. Oh well, sorry, Todd. Baldur's Gate 3 is the talk of the town right now.
Great game.
You know, this RPG comes along, kind of takes the internet by storm. Do you think it's set expectations for Starfield, or did it steal a little bit of the thunder?
I don't think it has anything to do with Starfield.
Thank you. Somebody had to come out and say it. Somebody had to come out and say it. And who better than Phil, right? Who better than Phil? Big Mad Mo says, my favorite is Oblivion. Didn't really get into Skyrim. I'm not sure if you were here just a moment ago, Big Mad Mo, but Phil Spencer himself said that Skyrim reminds him more of Oblivion than it did actually Skyrim. So I'm not sure if you've seen that earlier on Twitter or whatnot, or if you've seen earlier in this part of the show, but he did say that. But man, goodness gracious, I don't know how many of us have said, like, what does Baldur's Gate have to do with Starfield? Like, sure, it's great, but it's not even near the same category. And for that, like to go on ahead and throw something else in the basket, neither is Spider-Man. People need to stop. If you're going to compare the game to something that's like, it actually made more sense when people were comparing No Man's Sky than freaking something like Spider-Man or Baldur's Gate. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Okay. Big Mad Mo says nope. But I like hearing that. Yeah. So that's what he said just a little bit ago. But yeah, let's go on ahead and continue because I love that right there. It has actually just for the moment. Let's go on ahead and hear that one more time. It's stupid.
I don't think it has.
Comes along, kind of takes the internet by storm. Do you think it's set expectations for Starfield, or did it steal a little bit of the thunder?
I don't think it has anything to do with Starfield. I mean, great games coming out. It's a good thing for the industry. First, congrats to Larian and the team. I think it's like a 97 rated game or something. As somebody who finished the original Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 and what was the expansion for Baldur's Gate 1? Forgotten Shores or something. Like, I'm a huge Baldur's Gate fan, and to see a team spend the time to make, I think, a true next iteration of a classic gaming franchise is always just great for the industry.
Speaking of next iterations, you know, Skyrim came out, what, 12 years ago? Just did the anniversary edition, and it's been supported by an amazing modding community.
Yeah.
Has the same thought been put towards Starfield and supporting it into the future?
Absolutely. And I don't want to disclose what the team has been thinking about, but obviously when you're BGS and you've seen the legs and the support that Skyrim gets even today, right? When you look at what the modders have done, it went into the thinking about what Starfield should be, and like proof will be out in terms of how people receive the game. But our hope is that it is another game that's around a decade plus longer.
I mean, I tell you what, that makes me really excited. Gaming Downsides comes in here. What's cracking, dog? Thank you for coming through and saying I shared that Oblivion quote yesterday, and it has me hyped. I loved Oblivion. Starfield looking to be he said a something special. No, I understand fully what you're saying. It's gonna be something special, bruh. It really is. Man, I'm telling you. The last few nights, I mean, me and Matt likes games that's in the chat. We're usually always in party chats and kicking it together. The closer we've been getting to Starfield, the less we've been talking. And it's not because we're distancing ourselves because the game's coming out and we're going to play single player, all alone or whatnot. It's just like our schedules are fucked up right now. Our sleep schedules are totally different. I'm going to bed way earlier than I was. Obviously, my daughter just started kindergarten, so there's also another reason behind me going to bed earlier, to be able to wake up and take her to school. But also, just like, I just don't even care right now about any other game, to be honest. Like, I've been playing Vampire Survivors on my wife's account with my wife to try to get her 100%ed in that game, because I already 100%ed that game. And she's just like, you want to do this? And I'm like, I don't care. I don't have anything else to play. I was playing Yakuza 0 yesterday. I've never beat any Yakuza before. I'm out here playing just the most, just trying shit. Just because I'm just like, what can help me pass the time so I can get tired real quick, go to bed, and wake up and be another day closer to start. It sounds pathetic. It sounds pathetic, and it may be a little pathetic, but I just don't care. I mean, the other game that I really wanted to play was Immortals of Avium, but as soon as it got delayed out of July into the end of August, I was like, you're too close to my boo. You're too close to my $300 boo. I can't do you. And I tell you what, Raichi, Yakuza, he says Yakuza is great. I think it probably is a great game. And I turned it on because I think it could be a great game for me, and I think I'd be really interested in playing it. I really enjoy the goofy fighting and some of the goofy shit that happens within the game. I just did some weird side mission where some little 16-year-old kid was selling her draws. That was weird. That was really weird. Like I got a side mission in that game where this girl is selling her panties to old men on the corner. Like, bro, what is happening in Yakuza? Like when I turned that on, I was like, this is 0. I don't want to know what's in 1. This is crazy. So I'm sure it is a great game, Raichi. And I plan to continue to fight myself through 1 and then, go, I mean, not 1, but 0, and then get to 1 and, go down the list and whatnot. But as of right now, I'm just trying to cool and just wait for Starfield to come out so I can finally sink my teeth in. I want to be that brother that was looking mega. I'm not sure if bro was high as hell. As a matter of fact, give me a quick second. I'm going to go find that video real quick. The guy that spoiled Starfield for a bunch of people. I thought that shit was hilarious. Who did I see that posted that? I think it was Peter OVO. Because what I don't want to look up is spoilers for Starfield. Seeing that's what that guy's video went by. But I think I'd end up seeing something that I don't want to see. So So I'm gonna see if I can find this in Peter OVO's real quick. If not, we're just gonna run back to that and continue the video because I thought this shit was funny as hell. I'm not sure if he has it. Peter OVO be posting, bro. He be posting. I scrolled a bunch. I'm only at 5 hours ago. God damn. That's only 8 hours. This man be working. 10 hours. Hopefully this happened. If this didn't happen yesterday, then I'm gonna have to say screw it because I ain't finna scroll through this for a day and a half looking for this joint. Bro be posting. Okay, so it gotta be here close, I think. Give it a few more scrolls and call it because god damn. Oh, this is just man. This is just yesterday. Ah, screw it. I'm not finna look through all that shit. This dude be posting. All right, well, let's go on ahead and continue the video.
Later, after it launches, and people are still enjoying it. Around a decade plus, like proof will be out in terms of how people receive the game. But our hope is that it is another game that's around a decade plus longer. Later, after it launches, and people are still enjoying it.
I think the last time you were in the hot seat.
Yeah, and just in case you didn't know, I think a lot of us know this already, but that premium edition comes with the first DLC for Starfield. So if you're just purchasing the premium edition to be able to play it early, then you're setting yourself up for end game content after that DLC that's going to be coming out and stuff like that. I'm so stoked. Let's go
right now.
Yeah, the hot seat
okay.
over here on IGN. But you were at our friends Kind of Funny and doing the XCast around the launch of Redfall, which was obviously problematic at launch. Have any internal processes or procedures been changed to make sure that sort of reaction or issue doesn't arise again?
Well, we're always learning in everything we do, no doubt about that. I would say that, and I've shared some of this, but with Redfall, it was more of us not using our internal processes that were in place already, just because of when integration happened. I'm not using COVID as an excuse, but we did close the ZeniMax acquisition, and then everybody got sent home, and it was just not as easy as maybe some of the earlier companies, studios that we'd acquired in terms of integrating in our process. But that's all on us, so I'm not trying to deflect any of the criticism. But absolutely, anytime we launch anything, and we're going to learn from the launch of Starfield, we're going to learn from the launch of Forza, and we reevaluate our process because we want to make sure we're exceeding customers' expectations with everything we do.
Yeah, I'm always sort of curious about that. Like, what causes that result? Like, is it the cert process? Is it like what wall is hit where that sort of stuff is missed? So I appreciate you being candid about it.
Yeah, and I'd say one of the things that was helpful for us with Starfield was our long working relationship with BGS, which you know well. Like if you go back to original Xbox, like in what we've done with those teams. So the relationship between Todd, BGS, and our platform team was just stronger than it was with Harvey, not because of, and the team at Arcane, not because of anything other than just relationships. Like we've just known them longer. So Todd brought in the team brought in the ATG group early to start working on Starfield, and that's on us. Like we should have done that with Arcane. We should have helped them more in the development process, and also just made it clear that shipping a first-party game has a different level of expectation. That it's not always true that every team that comes into being part of a first party is aware of when it launches. Feel great about where we are with Starfield. We put out the review codes last week, so we're giving reviewers plenty of time to spend time with the game, and I think all of that's just a sign of the confidence that we have.
You tricked me into breaking embargo. Thanks.
That's right. That's right. You're done. No, we do really appreciate people playing and giving us feedback. Like the build that you have, it's not actually the final build. So we're always taking feedback and refining back in, and this is an important part of the process. So thank you for at least loading the game.
Oh, I played like.
I think that's dope that they sent out multiple different builds to different people just to make sure that the game was running properly, or see if somebody found something wrong with a certain build or something like that. I think that's pretty interesting. I also like that they gave people plenty of time to play it before, before the actual game launches, so they could have, because this game, I mean, obviously it's not something that you can play for 2 seconds and have an opinion on. So it's really good that they gave this out for people to give a try to. Who knows who's actually sticking to the script with the story, though? Because what's his name? Peter Hines said earlier that he is playing the game for like 80 hours. And Todd Howard asked him, so how do you like the story? And he was like, I didn't do it. So just for like stuff like that, it reminded me of when I was playing Skyrim. And I told Matt, I think I'm almost at the end of the game. And I found out all I did was beat the DLC. And I had no idea where I was in the actual game. I think I was actually still really early in the game. Let me get through some of these chats. Big Mad Mo says, getting through Hogwarts, haven't finished that one yet either, but Starfield is what I want to play right now. Same. I beat Hogwarts. That was a phenomenal game. I had a really good time with Hogwarts. That, in my opinion, deserves to be in the Game of the Year discussion. I don't care what anybody says. I think so. Gaming Downside says classic Yakuza, LOL. Big Mad Mo continues to say, pass the time to the main event. Yes, talking about me playing Yakuza. And he also goes on to say, talking about the guy that went on stage. Oh, man. I didn't even think about talking about that. Man, Jeff Keighley is getting disrespected. After we get done with this Phil Spencer stuff, I'm going to go ahead and throw that little moment up, because I think GameSpot actually put it in their Starfield trailer thing, which I think is funny. But I'll get working on that in the background while we're
like an hour,
checking this
but
out.
you know, I got an interview with Phil Spencer to plan for. Another game here, though, that we got to see BCD was Forza Motorsport.
Yes.
You're showing off the Italian track.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but big improvement graphically from what we saw at Summer of Gaming. I am curious, though, what are your thoughts on how Forza Motorsport sets itself apart?
I'll start with Turn 10. I think from the beginning of Turn 10, when that studio was formed, they've always been a technical showcase for us. A gentleman named Chris Tector is the tech architect for us there, and has just done a great job of getting everything out of the hardware. I'm a huge Motorsport fan. I've been from the time we launched that, so I've been playing builds and seeing the progress that they've been making. And I think you're right. Like graphically, where they are right now, it's stunning. The game, what they're doing with ray tracing and other things. But I always love that Turn 10 is be able to start with Motorsport, expand to Horizon, which Forza Horizon's now kind of a top tier Xbox franchise. I think you can't argue about that. It's just like the number of players that game builds, and their relationship with Playground and what they're doing with Fable. I mean, it's just been awesome to see how Turn 10, a studio that was literally just kind of homegrown within Xbox, has turned into such a
I
force
can't
for
wait
us.
to play this game.
Got any teases for Fable, seeing you brought it up?
I mean, actually, I can't wait, because I'll be playing Starfield
Project Ego,
all the
first
way up
Fable
to
that
it.
we launched, which I find some humor in. The code name was Project Ego with all the personalities involved. But it's nice to see the team kind of embracing what was Fable, the humor, the kind of choice and consequence and everything. So really looking forward to showing more.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the trailer you showed also
Thanks.
during the last reveal. But going back to Forza, you actually dropped the number. So is Forza Motorsport becoming a service platform, or like what's with the change?
Great question.
The team service platform, I hesitate a little bit because I think there's a lot of loadedness in
Games
like
as a
what
service.
what that means. I think what we see with Forza is the evolution of the experience as much about the tech as it is tracks and cars. And we know that when people make an investment in the game, they want to make sure we continue to support the game. And in some ways, when you put a numeral on the end of the franchise, it instantly says, okay, well now you need to move to like Forza N+1. And it's like, no, we want this to be a place that people feel like they can invest their time, they can invest their experience, and know that this is a place that we're going to be investing in Forza Motorsport for you.
I'm interested in what you guys kind of think about that. So they dropped the number of Forza. It's not going to be Forza Motorsport 8. It's just Forza Motorsports. A lot of people earlier were, I mean, hear what Phil says, right? Sure, you hear what he says right there, but a lot of people were saying, you know, maybe this is Forza's like a Halo Infinite kind of thing, where this is like the next 10 years of it. Do you actually think that this is like the Forza and they're just going to upgrade it and pretty much turn it into possibly a service game down the line, like a Killer Instinct kind of thing? Or do you think that they'll this is like a reset for Forza and there will be a new Forza 2, kind of like Modern Warfare, right? So they redid Modern Warfare. There was already Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, and then they went back and started Modern Warfare again, and then there's another Modern Warfare 2, and now we're about to get another Modern Warfare 3. Which one do you think it's going to be? Something that just gets updated like a Killer Instinct, or do you think it's going to be something that is just resetting and then starting over again like Mortal Kombat did? Okay, so I see in the meantime, while you guys answer, I'm gonna check this out. I see Ray Chi came in and said the indie game episode of the show chat was filled with spam of "we want GTA 6" and boring. So much disrespect. It was said in the stream stream indie. Oh damn. Mad disrespectful. Richie continues to say, Phil says, it will be a game as a service in all except names. Cloud Gamer 74 says, it's a great thing that Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out this year on Xbox. Yeah, which is nuts because they did that whole parody thing. Right. So I think they're kind of excusing the parody for Series S this time, and letting Xbox Series X go on ahead and get the game. And then I guess they'll just continue to work on it and have it out eventually for the S, which is pretty interesting of an idea. I think the main reason is it's just such a big deal right now. It's such a banger right now that Xbox just wants to try to make as much money off of it as they can now, instead of waiting until it eventually, I mean, who knows what it's actually doing, if it's actually making people move around at all or go buy PS5s instead of saying, I don't think it's that deep, but I think it's deep enough to where they're just like, yo, this game is making a lot of money. And we already spent money on this deal to be to be getting this game provided from you guys, so might as well go on ahead and get this onto something PC, or it's already on PC, but onto the Series X. Okay, so anyways, continuing through, Game Downside says, like Halo did with Infinite, I don't mind. Okay, you don't mind. I don't think that's terrible either of a bad idea. Except they'll have to follow it through, unlike Halo. But I think Turn 10's a million times more stable than 343 was at the time. Big Mad Mo continues with this. This way they can add what they want when it's ready. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about Forza and whatnot. Game Downside says, nah, they'll make a. Oh, okay. No, he says they'll make a 2. At least that's my thought on it. So you actually think they're gonna make a 2 for Forza, and actually just they're just restarting the count all over again. Fair enough. Fair enough of a thought. Cloud Gaming 74 comes back and says, I'd rather Forza Motorsports. So are you saying you'd rather it just stay as Forza Motorsports and continuously update? I'm assuming that's what you're saying. Big Mad Mo says, I'm thinking more like flight sim. So I thought they were making a new flight sim, though. Am I wrong with that? I thought there was supposed to be like 2024 flight sim. Oh, I can't wait to get to that last chat right there. Love it. Big Mad Mo. Okay, I already read that one. Game Downside says it may just depend on how good game ends up doing. If it's good, then just update it. If it's broken, make a new one. Fair enough. Definitely fair enough. I think that was kind of what ended up happening with Halo, but unfortunately, they made a whole engine for it, and it. Anyways, continuing. Metal Falcon comes in here saying PlayStation makes no sense. I don't disagree with you right at this very moment with PlayStation. That Q Lite, I talked about it for like a half hour about just how little I understood what they were doing with that. I'm not going to bring that back up. If you want to check that out, it's in earlier part of the video. But man, I was not understanding why that thing needed to be on a production line. Like, it's insane. $200, no Bluetooth, can't play any cloud games. So PS3 games out the window. You're drawing me back in. Let me get up out of that. And did I say Metal Falcon? That's fantastic. I meant to say Metal Face Doom. Face Doom. Wow. Never heard that name. That's interesting. Anyways, he says, Metal Face Doom says Forza Motorsport blows GT7 out of the water. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I'm sitting there driving the whole map. I feel like I'm in a fucking bus when I'm playing GT7. The controller, the haptics on the controller, phenomenal. The crash mechanics are like Gran Turismo 1. It's like the same exact thing. It's weird. I love that when Forza came out talking about their game, they showed a wreck pretty much immediately. And I was like, that's what I'm looking for to happen in a race. That's dope right there. Let's see. Raichi continues to say a Forza for each generation. Maybe. That's not a bad idea. That's not bad. Big Mad Mo says that's only because they added jobs. I'm not sure where that was aimed to. Oh, you're talking about they added jobs. Okay, yeah. Sure. Yeah, so maybe they're making this whole new build to include just the jobs and all of it, all of the whole shebang. So yeah, I totally see what you're saying now. You're talking about the whole flight sim thing and all that stuff. So caught up with you. Metal Face Doom says Flight Sim 2024 is coming, dude. Chill. I'm not chill. I can't wait for that. That stuff looks so dope. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to download Flight Sim, the other one yesterday, because I've been playing a little off and on with my VR, but I deleted it because that game is massive. It's like almost 200 gigs. So I definitely got rid of that for a little bit, but now I'm getting the itch to play it with it again. Get the whole VR thing possibly going. It's just a lot of work doing all that. Might just play it regular. I even got one of those Thrustmaster joysticks and stuff like that. Be pretty fun to do again. I'm gonna read a couple more of these and then we got to get back to the video. But Cloud Gamer 74 says I'd rather them smart over calling. I'd rather them start over than calling it 8. Okay, I see what you're saying. Totally. Yeah. I could see how the numbers could got kind of a little ridiculous after a while, and maybe you just want to start. Maybe that's why Mortal Kombat stopped where they did and went back to 1, because it's been so long. I mean, we're talking about like Genesis days since Mortal Kombat 1 actually literally came out. So I don't doubt that Forza maybe want to start all over from scratch and do the whole damn thing all over again. But anyways, let's go on ahead and get back to this video with Phil Spencer and Destin Legary. We're 8:46 out of 12:32 into it, and we still have
You've had
another
a ton
one.
of reveals.
We actually still have a couple more after this, so let's get moving.
What else do I have on?
South of Midnight.
Perfect Dark, South of Midnight,
Yeah.
Hellblade, Hellblade 2, Senua's Sacrifice. Can you tell us more about the rest of 2023 and beyond, and sort of like what that's looking like for Xbox?
What I can say is we're going to have more beats to talk about more of what we do because the content lineup is so strong. And I say that completely recognizing that
How do you like hearing that, by the way? Let me run that back one more time. Let me run that back one more time.
And beyond, and sort of like what that's looking like for Xbox?
What I can say is we're going to have more beats to talk about more of what we do because the content lineup is so strong. Is so strong. Is so strong. Is so strong.
You see what I'm saying?
And I'd say that
it's strong. They saying they strong now. They're confident in the content that they're bringing out now. That's great to see. That's great to hear. One more time for the people in the back, and let's keep it moving.
Sacrifice. Can you tell us more about the rest of 2023 and beyond, and sort of like what that's looking like for Xbox?
What I can say is we're going to have more beats to talk about more of what we do because the content lineup is so strong. And I say that completely recognizing that 2022 wasn't so strong. But we have our biggest booth here at Gamescom, and we have a huge presence. I think there's like 30 plus playable games on our floor, a lot of first party games. Towerborn's here, Ara's here, obviously Forza. So like it's awesome to see the footprint that we have in the game portfolio from our first party, from partners, from Game Pass, all of it. So I think what you're going to see from us, where maybe the last couple of years we've been more on an annual in terms of when we talk about our games around, I still call it E3, around the E3 timeframe. This year we did Developer Direct in January, we did our showcase. We're here in the biggest we've ever been at Gamescom, and you're going to see more regular times to talk about our games because the portfolio is.
That's so dope to hear. Let's go. We're going to hear more from them. Hopefully, like we were hearing a lot from them back in 2021, but this is going to be a lot of new stuff. We're finally going to be able to see a lot of new stuff from Xbox, and Phil said it right here himself, that we're going to see them talk a lot more about what they're going to be providing us. I'm telling y'all, I don't know who your favorite head of gaming is for any of the platforms, but for me, for your boy Ham Solo 05 Gaming here on TSWS Gaming, I'm telling you right now that I think Phil Spencer, or as King David would say, Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, I think this man right above me right here is the goddamn GOAT. He's the goddamn GOAT. I'm dead fucking serious. Let's keep it moving.
Was deep enough that we can support that.
Matt Booty promised us 4.
Yeah.
Are you on track?
For this year?
Well, let's see specifically what he said. Yeah. 4
Hi-Fi.
first party per year.
We more than that this year. If we start with Hi-Fi, Minecraft Legends, Redfall. Maybe people don't want to give us credit for Redfall. I get it, but I understand. Starfield, Forza. We just dropped Age 4 console last night.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna play that. And then going into next year, absolutely. Like we have talked about it as an aspiration. Now we talk about it as our plan.
Okay, got it. Big news, everybody. I don't know if you heard. Final Fantasy 14 is finally coming to Xbox.
Ooh,
I got to go to the show.
I don't
It
even
was
care
really
about Final
cool.
Fantasy
Yeah.
like that, but
I've
I
been
know
covering
it's
that
a
story
big
for like
deal
a
to so many
decade.
people.
Like, since I started at IGN.
You've been a proponent for it.
Yeah, I've that community is so welcoming. It's an amazing, amazing community.
Being there with at the Final Fantasy Fan Fest thing was awesome. The first time I'd ever been. It's just incredible.
And they're stoked about it coming to Xbox.
And so is Yoshi, which is great.
Yeah. Now you hinted that other games.
Did I
could
hint,
become-
or was it the CEO
Oh,
of Square that
the
hinted?
CEO of Square?
Oh
I just wanted to make
shit! He was like, Destin, stop, cut the cap. He had to.
Incredible.
And
Let's
there's
listen to it
about
one more
coming to Xbox.
And so is Yoshi, which is great.
Yeah. Now you hinted that other games.
Did I
could
hint,
become-
or was it the CEO
Oh,
of Square that
the
hinted?
CEO of Square?
Okay, I just wanted to make
hinted.
sure who was clear on who was hinting.
So where's Final Fantasy VII? Are we going to get 16? What does that mean?
I recognize that when people buy an Xbox, they want to make sure the great games that they want to play are coming. And if there's any publisher out there where that hasn't been true, Square is one of the top profiles. So, like, Sarah Bond and I know, like, fly to Tokyo, have conversations, and we've spent a lot of time with Square. There's obviously business deals and relationships that will have to get worked through on certain games.
PlayStation.
But I'll say it was really great to have the CEO of Square and Yoshi there to just talk about their commitment to Xbox, because I can say, like, I'm the head of Xbox, blah, blah, blah. But having the CEO of one of the third parties make a commitment to the platform, I thought was a really meaningful step. So you'll hear more. I'm not going to push them. Like, they're going to have to find
Let's just
their
finish
own
it up and
rhythm.
I'll talk about it.
But having him make a commitment to Xbox was really important, both to me, and I've heard it from the community, to the community as well. And 14 was more of a commitment.
Yeah, you can tell me off the air, but we got to go right now. Phil, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a few more questions for you. Thank you for watching, everybody. For more on all things gaming, keep it right here at Gamescom with IGN.
Yeah. Oh man, I've been really disappointed with IGN as of lately. Other than what Dustin's been doing, I'm okay with. I know some people don't really love him that much. It's not that I like love Destin or anything like that, but I appreciate his coverage of Xbox for IGN, because without him, imagine IGN. Imagine IGN without Destin. I'm just saying, you don't have to love him. You don't have to even like him. But imagine who would speak up for Xbox without Destin S.T.A.L.K.E.R being at IGN. Just think about that. That's something. It's kind of sad, but it's something. But anyways, as for Final Fantasy, bro, like I said, I'm not really that into it, but hearing what he said, he's like, I didn't promise shit. He's like, I didn't say nothing. That was them that said that they're going to work with us. He's like, I know we got deals and stuff like that we got to, go through and whatnot, but they got to figure that shit out and report back to us. They want money from us. They see us doing good. They want money from us. And they were salty about probably not getting purchased by Microsoft like they thought they were going to at one point. But nope, didn't happen. But they see that change rolling around over there at Microsoft, and they're just like, I can't deny that greatness over there. I can't deny that money. I can't deny it. So of course, Square Enix bent the knee. But let's go on ahead and hit the next video real quick before we hit the last, before we hit that last little piece on the Jeff Keighley thing. But let's go to the second video. I think Autumn posted this one. Oh wait, no, this isn't the right one. Sorry, you guys. It's right here, I think, on the bottom. No, wait, nope, that's the last one I want to show. I wanted to show the second part of Destin's video. Yeah, part 2 right here. I'm sitting here going over it over and over.
Xbox has their biggest booth ever at Gamescom this year, and we're thrilled to have Phil Spencer with us.
So this is part 2 of the interview with
and to answer
Destin
some of the
Phil.
tough questions fans have been curious about. Ladies and gentlemen, Phil Spencer right here with me. How are you doing?
Awesome. I'm looking at all the people. This is such a cool setup because all the people on the Gamescom floor are right there. It's cool. I appreciate you guys having a booth here on the floor. It's awesome.
So we're going to talk hardware services and such, but you just had this big announcement about some sort of CMA issue where you're partnering with Ubisoft. What does that mean for video games?
If you just joined, hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe.
Games, like if the Activision deal closes, can you just explain it to me? Because I don't get it.
Fundamentally, we are trying to bring more games to more people, and we think doing the deal with Ubisoft, which frees up one of the concerns at the CMA, which is the UK regulatory board where acquisitions get handled, will allow more games to go to more people. We've always thought we would do that as well, but Ubisoft's a good partner. We know them. They're independent from us, so we say any kind of concerns that we may dictate where the games go, hopefully is alleviated now, and allow us to continue to move forward in what we're working on with the deal. We still have work to do there, but we think it's a good step, bring more games to more people, which has been what this is about.
So if I want to play, is it just cloud streaming, or will
Yes.
it have an impact on Game Pass?
It is the rights that will go to Ubisoft when the deal closes are the cloud streaming rights for ABK games.
So Call of Duty, I can still boot that up on Game Pass potentially once the deal closes.
Yeah, on ABK, I'm going to a different answer now just because the way you asked that. I want to make sure people know that there's work to actually move games to Game Pass. So for people who think like the deal's going to close
October 18th,
then everything's available to Game Pass. That's not true. Like so. And it hasn't been true in other acquisitions that we've done. Like there's work for us to go do, just mechanical work for us to go do. So it will take us time, definite time, to get the games in portfolio. But this has nothing to do with making native games available in Game Pass. This is all about the Ubisoft relationship, is all about the cloud streaming rights for ABK games.
Well, that
ABK being Activision Blizzard King. It's really Activision and Blizzard since they have the kind of pay-to-play games.
That makes me feel a lot better. Thanks, CMA, for making it super confusing. But anyway.
But let me say, it's in addition to other deals that we've done, right? Like GeForce and Boosteroid, Ubitus, other deals. I think there's like some GeForce announcements going out now about our PC games starting to hit their, so if you're a GeForce Now subscriber and you're a Game Pass subscriber, you're starting to be able to stream the PC versions of those games, which I think is an awesome part of this as well.
It's nuts.
Getting more games to more people has been what this is about. Not taking games away from PlayStation. I know there's like, that's not what it is. We look at the success of Xbox as how many people are playing Xbox games, and that's important to us.
Yeah, I mean, if you took them off PlayStation, you would literally lose money.
That we would.
Yeah,
it's never been in the plan. I mean, I've had to wear a suit and tie. People have like seen all that stuff.
You look
We're not
very,
there anymore.
You look very fancy. Let's talk Xbox Series X. So the console's 3 years old. Where are we at with the timeline of the console? Are we at the beginning? Are we in the middle?
I think we're kind of at the end of the beginning, like if that makes any sense. Okay. I think the kind of supply issues early on lengthened the beginning to some extent, both on cost as well as just availability. I think from a game dev standpoint, not just us, but third parties, you're really just now starting to see the swell of games that got slowed up through COVID production now starting to launch. I think we have like 85 games launching in the industry between now and like tomorrow, right? It seems like there's so many games coming right now that we're starting to get through the beginning of this generation and hopefully into a place where, as an owner of a console, you've got games that are taking full advantage of the hardware and are great games for people to go play. And I look at the lineup over the rest of this year.
So Phil out here saying that was just all the way up to now was just the beginning. And now we're finally entering in to the middle of the generation. I'm assuming Starfield's kind of ushering that for him. So Starfield, Forza, S.T.A.L.K.E.R when it comes out in 2020, early 2024, Hellblade. Hopefully that's early 2024. That's what I was thinking. I seen Metal Face Doom say that as well earlier. Flight Sim, we were talking about that. Fable. Man, I mean, there's a lot to look forward to. I'm definitely excited to see where
from third parties alone, and it's fantastic.
What's next for gaming hardware? Like, are better graphics still enough to differentiate?
I think better graphics, more realistic feel will always be important. I also love that different form factors are coming out. I thought what Valve did with the Steam Deck was awesome. I'm traveling with my ROG Ally when I'm here, having a great time playing games. I feel like it's a remote Xbox for me, right? I log in, my community's there, my games are there. All devs should support cross saves, so that's to you, Remnant 2 team. I'm playing a ton of Remnant 2, but I can't move to PC. But I just love the fact that I'm able to take my save games where I go and play. So I love that hardware is becoming more diverse, both in price point and in form factor and usability, so that more people are playing.
Do you have any news about some sort of mid-generation refresh for Xbox?
No. We're doing right now the increased storage on the Series S. The black one, yeah. That's what we actually call it, is the black.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. It looks great. But no, like I said, we're kind of at the end of the beginning in my mind. So I think we need to let devs settle on this hardware and get the most out of it.
I like how he was a
terms of
little like uncomfortable
in my
right
mind,
there.
so
I think that was funny.
I think we need to let devs settle on this hardware. The beginning in my mind. Like I said, we're kind
where was he at?
call it is the black.
See, yeah, right there.
One, yeah,
you kind of stuttered.
What we actually call it is the black.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. It looks great. But no, like I said, we're kind of at the end of the beginning in my mind. So I think we need to let devs settle on this hardware and get the most out of it. But in terms of increased frame rate, increased resolution, I just look at what goes on PC with high-end GPUs, high-end CPUs. And it's not always just about pixel count or frame resolution. I think there's lighting techniques. There's a bunch of things that go into what makes a game look and feel great. And we have a ton of headroom as an industry there.
The Baldur's Gate 3 team brought up some issues with Xbox Series S and split screen getting it to work properly. I know the Forza team announced that it won't launch with split screen, I believe.
Local split screen, yeah, split screen, yeah.
Local split screen. So
or even online split screen, yeah.
Is there some future where you allow developers just to launch on the Series X versus S? Because there's the parity clause right now, and I'm curious, will that ever be loosened up a bit?
I want to decouple these issues a little bit.
Yeah.
The decision to do split screen or not is a creative decision, a dev decision. So if we think about like Forza, it has nothing to do with any kind of hardware thing on S and X, just where they wanted to focus their time. We obviously see the data in terms of how many people play local co-op for games. I love local co-op. Shout out to Vampire Survivors that just launched it. Fantastic. But there's also just let's go where the play is in terms of where we're going to focus our dev resources. In terms of the two platforms, I want games to launch on both platforms. There are feature differences between the platforms. We have an ability to kind of handle that and how it works. Where teams are going to choose to focus their time and their effort is up to them. We're here to support them and what they want to go do. We want to make sure that games, when they're launching on competitive platforms, are also launching on Xbox. So we're going to learn from this experience as well, because we don't love that. But I don't think it's something that's like a fatal flaw in the system. It's partners prioritizing their time, us listening and being a good partner to them. And you see some amazing games doing great work across S and X. Diablo looks great, Starfield looks great, Forza looks great across both. And we think, I want to make sure console gaming is accessible to more people, and we think the price point of the console is a pretty important part of that.
Yeah, I love the Series S, but there's been that conversation going around, so I wanted to ask you about it.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fair question. I will say that I think some of the discussion in the community has maybe not come from us or the devs. It's been more the community building, well, this happened, and then that happened, and then so it must be about this. And I think we can do more to add clarity to actually where we are, and I look forward to doing that.
So you threw like 300 devs out to Larian to help them get Baldur's Gate on Xbox?
It wasn't 300, but absolutely.
400, wow.
No, it's a great game. They're an important partner. I'm meeting with them here at Gamescom. Like it's a game I want to see on the platform, and we have resources that helped in terms of making sure it's going to sit. I think they've said it's going to ship by the end of the year. I think that's their words.
Yeah.
In terms of what they've said. But like we should together come up with clarity to set some expectations for Xbox fans, and I look forward to doing that.
Okay. I just really like that game, so I'm hoping
I think that's funny. Big Big Mad Mo says Twitter. You know exactly what. Yeah, I know exactly because yeah, and we do that as a community a lot. Like Xbox folks, PlayStation folks, PC, whatever, Nintendo. Everybody has their assumptions as to why something doesn't work right, why something isn't more accessible on one console than another. All in all, a lot of us don't know what the hell we're talking about. And but the problem, in my opinion, is a lot of people don't want to admit that. I'm more than happy to admit when I'm wrong or I don't know what the fuck is going on. But there's all these people out here that are just these armchair developers that will tell you what it absolutely is. And it's bullshit 90% of the fucking time. Yeah, Big Mad Mo, you said it right there. Armchair devs. That's exactly what I was just saying. Ray Chi out here saying lighting technique, the thing that kept that keeps ruining our FPS since the beginning of gaming. Let me read a couple more of these before we finish out the rest of this video and hit that hit the last video. Let's see. Metal Face Doom says Xbox has too many games. PlayStation has no games. They Portal. Oh man, disrespectful. I don't mind it. Metal Face Doom says Matt Booty, a gangster, wants to buy PlayStation. And then he continues to say he is the GOAT, talking about when I was pointing up at Phil Spencer earlier. Hell yeah, the motherfucking GOAT. Yeah. Big Mad Mo continues to say, oh, and heard Hellblade has a demo slice of combat. I wonder when as long we are going to see. I'm guessing he's just saying when are we going to see it? I'm thinking the VGAs. I 100% think the VGAs as well, bud. And I think the VGAs is where we get a release date specifically for it, and it comes out Q1, late Q1, maybe even. My thoughts. Let's see. Metal Face Doom said the same thing I was saying. Hellblade early 2024. Ray Chi says Xbox has been working hard to weebify its platform. That's an interesting thought. I've heard that. I actually listened to a little video from Cult Classic Cage where she was talking about just console gaming in that sense. Rachie also says, don't be a 9-year generation. Why not? Why don't you want the generation to be long? I mean, it's already been almost, 3 years? November will be 3 years. So you don't want 6 more? You don't want 6 more? 6 more of this? Rachie, continue. Oh, okay. I already said that one. Anyways, let's go on ahead and finish this up.
I can play it on my console. So.
I do too. Yeah. Hopefully with cross save, so I can play my PC and my Xbox version back and forth.
We got 2 minutes left.
Got it. So what else do we have? Game Pass does seem to be a bit of a tough sell for a lot of executives, I guess you call them. Kotick was one of those people that testified to it being a tough sell for him to bring Call of Duty to Game Pass. After closing, how are you going to breach that sort of ideological difference between you both?
Well, there's a different person making the decisions. That's one thing.
Isn't that a wonderful answer? It's just like, duh.
Well, there's a different person making the decisions.
Yeah, in other words, he's saying, like, who gives a damn about what Bobby thought or what any other executives thought? As soon as we own it, it's our decision. As soon as Xbox owns it, it's Xbox's decision to do whatever they want with it, which what they want with it is to put it into Game Pass. So does he care about what Jim Ryan says? No. What the guy from 2K says? No. Destin, No, he doesn't care what anybody's saying. None of them care at all about what any other developer is saying. As soon as they own something, it's theirs and they can do whatever the hell they want with it. Just like if you, Rachie, bought Final Fantasy 16 just to play Frisbee with it. What the hell am I supposed to tell you? It doesn't matter if you didn't use it the way that it's supposed to be used or you didn't use it the way I want you to use it. You own it. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. Who gives a fuck what anybody else thinks?
That's one thing. On Game Pass, it's not necessarily true that every game looks at Game Pass and says that's the opportunity for me. Like if you're a massively successful AAA franchise that has double-digit million marketing budget to go drive awareness and discovery of your game day one, and that's part of your model, I totally understand why you wouldn't window your game day one into a subscription. I got no issue with that. Like we do it as a first party for this because we're trying to grow the subscription and we're looking at the overall health of the subscription as an outcome. We love that. We see it grow on console, more growth on PC definitely now, which has been awesome, especially sitting here in Germany. We think about all the PC players here. But so I just got out actually of a roundtable with a bunch of indie developer leads, studio heads, and the subscription helps them. It helps them in terms of dev funding, certainty in what they can go build. Every game that's in Game Pass is available for sale, so we're not trying to turn the world into a subscription-only world, I promise. That's not our plan. And we think it's a great model for certain teams and for other teams.
Whoa. Didn't all the fanboys say that all they're trying to do is turn all of gaming into a subscription service? Phil just shut that up. He just said, no, that's not what we're trying to do. Obviously, you probably can't even do that with some third-party development that doesn't want anything to do with Game Pass. So how are you going to turn every single game into subscription service? You can't. You literally can't do that. Let me read some of these. Actually, let's go ahead and finish this because we got less than a minute left on it.
Teams that decide it's not the right model for them ever or right now, that's also totally cool as well.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I'm being told we're out of time.
Uh-oh.
I have a lot more great questions for you, but they'll have to wait. Thank you, Phil Spencer from Xbox, so much for joining us. We got to go. Coming up next, more video game news right here at Gamescom with IGN. Bye, everybody.
All right, let's go on ahead and go to the next video. I think there's only one more, maybe there's two. But let's go on ahead and rush over to it real quick. Matt told me I'm muted. I was muted a little bit earlier. That was a little ridiculous. But yeah, this looks like it's going to be the last one right here because all the other ones are just pieces of that same interview. So let's go on ahead and hit it.
Phil Spencer joined Charlie at Gamescom. Here's what he had to say
this
about
one's
the future
18 minutes, y'all. So
it is my distinct pleasure to welcome CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Mr. Phil Spencer, to the stage. How are you, my dear?
I'm well. How are you? It's good to be here.
So good.
How's your first day of Gamescom?
I mean, it's been exciting. I've had a walk around. I've looked at some things, but I've mostly just been sitting here talking Diablo and Age, and now to you. So it's like
I saw the Age.
Yeah,
demo.
it's kind of like a 10 out of 10.
Who was out here for Diablo?
Diablo, it was Rod and Chris.
Roderick was here.
Roderick indeed.
Yeah, good. Good.
Yeah, good vibes. I want to start by saying that the last time we were together, we were sat in the Bethesda London office planning to steal loads of stuff because we're loads of.
Are we saying planning
us.
because we don't want people to know that we
yes,
did?
Yes, well, you've said it now, so I was protecting us.
I still have my stuff.
Well, every time I talk to you, I always ask what you're playing.
Awesome.
So I want to know what you're playing and why is it still Vampire Survivors?
No. Well, I am playing Vampire Survivors, so I got all the achievements.
Obviously, yeah.
But now they have couch co-op, and I'm playing with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, Kelly, who doesn't play a ton of video games.
Phil playing with the wife, just like your boy Ham Solo out here. Man. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. That's what we out here doing.
So the fact that we can play couch co-op and she's enjoying it, like my stuff.
Well, every time I talk to you, I always ask what you're playing. So I want to know what you're playing and why is it still Vampire Survivors?
No. Well, I am playing Vampire Survivors, so I got all the achievements.
Obviously, yeah.
But now they have couch co-op, and I'm playing with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, Kelly, who doesn't play a ton of video games.
Yep.
So the fact that we can play couch co-op and she's enjoying it, like I'm all in.
As well. Yeah.
So what I'm playing right now
feels-
on
he
console,
feels you,
I'm playing a
bro.
lot of Remnant 2. I really like Remnant 2.
Yeah.
It's a great game to play with friends. I had my ROG Ally on the way out here. I'm playing a game called Fist, which is in Game Pass.
Yep.
It's a really nice platformer.
I still need to try that
I'm
game.
playing Brotato. Have you played Brotato?
This is also the first I've heard of it, so please
No.
tell me more. What is that?
So Brotato's not on Xbox. I'll
Okay.
say yet, but I don't have any. Well, it would be great to get on Xbox. It's a Steam game. It's kind of like, let's say it's inspired by Vampire Survivors.
Oh, I see.
But you play as a
You have a
potato. Yes, yeah, I'm very simple.
Yeah.
I have a small brain. So one stick, move around. But it's a fun game. So I'm playing some Brotato. I just finished, what did I just finish last? Bramble. Have you played this game?
No, I've had it recommended a bunch though. Yeah, it's because it's a nice short playthrough, isn't it? As well?
But it's kind of a demented game. Like
A
it starts
demented
off
game.
demented, yeah. It starts off very cute,
Yeah.
and you think, oh, like this is awesome, and then it like goes into some very crazy, great game,
zags.
great game, but it's like some very
Yeah, big
dark.
bad.
Let's just say
Big
dark.
Mad
places.
Mo, I
I'll get
gotta
it on the
try that.
download queue. That
Yeah,
sounds great.
yeah, it's
Wonderful. So we're going to focus on Gamescom now. We're going to stop flapping our gums and
Okay.
actually talk. Our in Gamescom, quite literally surrounded by Xbox fans.
50,000 square feet
Yeah.
of Xbox booth.
It's pretty good. And
Biggest
this is
ever.
the
Damn,
first
that's
time
a
in a
lot of
while
room.
you've stepped on it as well. So I want to know why it's so important that Xbox has showed up so big this year.
Well, being here, being anywhere, but being in Europe with our customers, with players, with the creators that are here. I did a creator get together both last night, today, met with some partners. It's, you know, it's these moments where the industry comes together, where we can talk to each other, that the consumers can come in, the players can come in, put their hands on games. I just think it's critically important. Obviously, COVID messed up a bunch of things. That's in the rearview mirror. So when we had the opportunity this year to go big at Gamescom, we said, let's go. The other thing that's awesome in the booth is how much third-party support that's here, right? Like Ed Boon's games here, Mortal Kombat's here. We have the DLC for Cyberpunk's here. Like, it's just awesome to see how many of our partners, Rod's games here, Diablo, how many of the third-party support on the floor. It's an important thing for us as a platform. And it's just nice to get reconnected back with the community here.
Yeah. And then Starfield over. I feel like I'm showing everyone over
I can't
here.
see it.
is
I can't see it. It's too
Starfield.
small.
Well, it is actually technically massive, to correct you there. And we're only a week away from early access. So how exciting is it seeing this game coming to Xbox, and we're so close now?
Yeah, we've been working on it for a long time. I've known about it for even before we acquired ZeniMax. So it's been great to see Todd and the team work more closely with them than we ever have on any game. There aren't that many moments where we get to launch a new IP that has the amount of buzz and anticipation that Starfield does. A lot of games you'll launch that are new IP and then maybe they build into their strength. But like there is just a crazy amount of anticipation. And the thing that I love is the confidence that the team has right now. Like putting out review codes 2 weeks before launch, because it's a big game. And I'll be the first to admit, the first 3 to 4 hours are a little bit hunt and peck, figure out like, well, what am I actually doing? Then you get on a side quest or something and like the game just like blows up in terms of its epic scale. So I love the fact that the team is so confident in giving reviewers time with the game before they're actually reviewing or just talking about what they think of the game.
Yeah, and just behind that, in the rearview mirror, if you will, kind of, I think that's how it works. Forza Motorsports over there, and that's out not too long after Starfield, is it?
That's right. That's October. We did a take home 2 weeks
October
ago
10th.
where we got the opening of the game. Looks fantastic. I'm a huge motorsport fan.
Yep.
And I'd say Turn 10 for us for a
In-game
long time in our
footage,
first party
gotta
has
love
really
it.
been a technical showcase. Like Chris Tector, the team on the tech side, the stuff that they get the most out of the hardware, I think, of any of our first party teams. They just that's their focus, along with building a great racing simulator. And the game looks fantastic. And I can't wait for people to get to play. The ray tracing on track looks great. Giving people some options. You'll see all that as they kind of talk about more of the game. But Motorsport is something that one of those franchises I've played since the beginning, and I can't wait for the full release.
Staple, huh?
Yeah,
it's Motorsport is chef's kiss.
Well, and kudos to Turn 10. They started with Motorsport, expanded to Horizon, so now they built a sibling franchise to Motorsport. they've just done such a really good job of growing the relevance of Forza, both for simulation and arcade players.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Phil, I know one of the things in chat, and many of the fans really appreciate about you, is how much you love to play the games themselves. So I know just over here, you can't see behind me, we've got the Stalker 2 demo, and you've taken that for a spin as well. It's been 16 years since the original, so can you tell us what stood out to you?
Such a long time.
Stalker, if you played the first game, has kind of a unique setting and story, and it's really nice to see what they've done in this build of continuing the lore of what S.T.A.L.K.E.R is about, what your role is in the world, and kind of how the world invites you into what your role is and your kind of task. I'm trying to do this without kind of spoiling too much.
You can spoil if you want.
No, that's their game. Like I don't want to do that. But I'll also say, they're a dev that spends a lot of time perfecting the game in terms of the technology. I think they're still on that track. Yeah. Like they're still, obviously the game's not done. So it's, but yeah, I just love that they've done a good job moving the S.T.A.L.K.E.R kind of world forward, but being very tried and true to what S.T.A.L.K.E.R is about.
Yeah, for sure. And to be totally honest, even under the best circumstances in games development, it's super tough. But for GSC, obviously, it's a bit more complex, their situation they've got there. So I want to know, what does it mean to you to see these guys get here and get a demo out of the door?
Yeah, I've stayed in touch with the team over the years, and especially as you say, like the last couple of years, it's an emotional thing, right? Like you almost feel hollow asking them about how their game is.
Yeah, of course.
When you think about the world and what that they live in, and what that studio has gone through. And
I mean, how do you manage somebody that's in the middle of a war? Like, how do you manage a group of folks, or like help manage or check on, or even ask them how their project is doing when they're getting bullets rained on their country, when family members that they know are either in battle or then themselves have to deal with it? Like, that's just such a cringy thing to have to deal with. Couldn't imagine what that's like, especially for something like a video game, right? Sure, there's a lot of money on the line, but that's some very sensitive stuff to talk about, no doubt.
Really continues to go through. I think for them, I see, and they've talked about this when I've talked to them, that building the game has kind of been a refuge in a way, and it's cool to see that. I hope it never gets replicated again in terms of something that has to happen. But I'll say for the team, the fact that they're here, I was playing, they were literally pushing a new build right as I was playing that build. So their attention to wanting to put their best foot forward, even under the most difficult circumstances. I have a ton of confidence in them, and they're on that journey. But it's it's an emotional thing when you're talking to a team that's going through. I don't want to talk about it in past tense, what that team is going through. So it's really special to me that they're here and that gaming can be part of how they're getting through it.
Yeah, for sure. And as well as being here, there are so many communities for so many different games.
Yeah.
The RX was, you've got Seed Thieves. I'm doing it again.
That's
Seed Thieves over there. You've got an ESO over there.
They can't see it,
No, I know. I'm just
There's
doing...
actually nothing over
I'm
there.
telling
She's
you
just
where they all are.
It's an empty, there's nothing here. And you're just
It's not a
pointing
green screen. It's an illusion.
The grounded communities over there. It's actually not.
But what's it like for you to see all of these communities come together?
Community and gaming, to me, are linked. It's
100%.
From my early days of literally going to the arcade. I'm the old guy, but that's the only way I could play that and Pong at my house. That's how I play video games. And there was a community in the arcade of hey, what's the new hot console? Not video game console, but actually arcade console cabinet that you're going to go play. And I love that today those communities, they're still physical. Like you asked, why are we here at Gamescom? Because we have a fan fest tonight.
Indeed,
it's going to be awesome with the local community and the people that are here, but also the virtual communities. And I think it's one of the unique things in video games, that video games can connect people across geographies, across races, religions. It is just a connector of people. And when it's a game like a Sea of Thieves, like a Grounded, like a Flight Sim, so many of our games now have these Elder Scrolls Online, which has a big
over there has a big presence on our show floor.
And they've got a really nice table in there as well.
They do that big round table.
And I just have to say real quick that this is one of the reasons Phil, in my opinion, is the goddamn GOAT. Is because of people that are gamers like him that have this belief system in something like community, which Xbox, as you guys know, if you're watching this, you've either played on Xbox before or you currently have an Xbox. You know that they've been very, very much about community from the jump. From being able to have, Xbox Live on the original console, going into the 360 generation where there was, Netflix where you could chill with friends and watch movies, and Xbox Live even got even bigger at that point, with party chats lifting off, and people being able to, like in the Xbox One generation, being able to have these communities where you're asking people for help or to jump into your squad and do stuff, and they had Skype on there, and the whole community thing has always been in the DNA of Xbox itself, but what kind of amplifies or maximizes upon that DNA is the person that's driving the ship themselves, which happens to be Phil Spencer. And seeing, bro's out here talking about gaming, not only himself, but getting his wife into it as well with Vampire Survivors. He's always been big about community. Look at the way he's spreading games out across different platforms for them to be able to do it. Obviously, the money's a big factor with it, but the vision is insane. Just the idea and the vision of being able to have all these different things. You heard him talking about the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck, how he pretty much feels like his ROG Ally is on the go Xbox. That is the CEO telling you that. I don't think Jim Ryan's out here telling you that he's playing the ROG Ally because he has something called the Q Lite coming out. And they don't want to get in the mix of that. And plus, Jim Ryan, him holding a controller is just awkward, right? So, it really helps you be a fan of something when you know the person that you're a fan of is also a fan of what you like. So, for example, I'm sure a ton of kids out in Colorado right now playing for Deion Sanders loves it for the fact that they may not love him all the time, but I'm just saying, like, having the background when you are looking to go to a school and you see somebody that was like a GOAT at their position and they're going to be coaching you, that makes you interested automatically more than some random dude that says he got everything, under the hood for you. He got everything to give you, but he ain't never played a lick of football or anything like that. Like it just hits different when somebody that is leading the pack is interested in the same thing that the actual pack itself is interested in. It's very eye-opening, and it's honest. It's just nice. Let me go ahead and read some of these chats real quick before we head back. We still got 8 more minutes of this, and then I'm going to go on ahead, show this last video from Gamescom with Jeff Keighley, and then we're going to get the heck up out of here because I've been doing this for over 2 hours at this point already. So I'm going to start out with Boogeyman. So he says, I bet they buy Ubisoft to get them cloud rights back. Man, I think that would be slick, but I just don't see it happening because I could see the CMA just being like, you trying to buy who we told? No. Like, I could just see that just not working, bro. I don't know, but I just don't see that working. But that would be absolutely unprecedented. And would I be happy about it? Absolutely. Why not? The more the better, in my opinion. For sure. Continuing on, Big Mad Mo says that's what folks don't get. Trying to remember what we were talking about then. Probably the armchair devs and whatnot. But he also continues to say you can still buy the games. Yeah. Oh, so you're talking about when Phil Spencer said, yeah, that it's not going to be just a massive subscription service. It just runs the entire gaming industry because some people don't want to be in a subscription service. They make more money outside of it, or they feel like they can fund themselves just fine without being part of something like that. Sometimes people just want, to not have their, not be tied down with anything else or anybody else. Better yet. Continuing forward, Ray Chi says, well, this can happen. Ultimate DRM. True. I think that would be more of a problem when it comes to like physical media versus digital media. I think that would be more of a problem in that aspect instead of subscription service problem. But like even if they do go all digital, then like DRM would be the very next thing to be mega worried about, because obviously if they go digital and leave physical behind, nothing we can do about it. But as for DRM in certain games, especially single player games, like I might be wrong, but I think you have to be online to be able to play Starfield even. So, which is not great to a lot of people, but it's kind of the direction a lot of things are going. And what can we do other than say we don't like it? We can say it over and over and over, but if they want to do it, they're going to do it. Boogeyman says, I jumped into Age 4 on Xbox earlier today, got rocked by the computer. Yeah, that game ain't easy, and it takes a hot minute to get used to it. I got about 12 hours into it the first time I played it, and I never picked it back up again. It's a good game. It's a fun game. It's addicting. But after that first time, I actually had a good time, but I just never came back because I was like, man, I don't want to get stuck into that like that again. Like it's fun, but it's not like my favorite game. So it was easy for me to be like, I'm not coming back. Maybe I try it again when it's on Xbox. If they have cross save, even better, because I'd rather not start all over again. But I don't know how that is. Maybe if you know about the cross save on it or not, let a brother know. But anyways, continuing forward, Big Mad Mo says the first one is a good one. Game Downside says it's a good Metrovania style beat 'em up. Pretty good game so far. I think you're talking about that. Are you talking about that Brotato game? I don't know if you're talking about the Brotato game or if there's a different game that he is talking about. Big Mad Mo says Bramble was good. Boogeyman says, I'm a wind up stuck playing Starfield until I retire. Hey, man, I don't think anybody would be mad at you about that. People are still playing Skyrim like it just came out. So I don't think that's crazy at all. Boogeyman continues to say, I can see how I am almost level 200 in both Skyrim and Fallout. Starfield will easily double that. I can see it now. Yeah. Bro, I think you're going to be attached to that. That game's going to be attached to your damn hip. How's the shelling today? How's the shelling today? Is the game going to be ready? I don't know what you're saying. Sorry, bro. But he continues to say, so is that true that Baldur's Gate 3 is coming to Xbox by the end of the year? Yes, that is true. Xbox is, I think they're having it only for Series X, and it was like the one game that you're talking about Fist. Yes, I need to get down on Fist. That game looks really fun with the bunny and shit. Yeah, absolutely. The bunny looked tough. But anyways, yeah, that Baldur's Gate is going to be definitely coming to Xbox before the end of the year. That's what I believe Phil or somebody said that in particular, but that is confirmed. And then the last thing he said was that Boogeyman said was any Ark Survival Ascended news from Gamecom or news on animated series. I know that there was a Fallout TV show teaser shown behind closed doors. Yes, there was that Fallout teaser thing shown behind closed doors. And if you haven't seen it, I can post it now. And I mean, I know that I showed it off on my TikTok and it hasn't got flagged yet, which I was kind of surprised. I was anticipating it getting flagged, which I'm gonna double check and see if it has gotten now. If it hasn't, I don't mind showing it off real quick. It almost has like 10,000 views, but it is definitely a pretty big deal. So yeah, I don't give a damn. I'll show it off real quick. Let me pull that up. Actually, I'll wait until after this Phil Spencer thing and pull that up then. So, go to my profile. All right, let's continue this video.
Nice table. It's another one of the things on my list to see if I can pilfer. I won't lie to you.
We should steal that.
Yeah, we should.
But the thing, I also want to make sure on the community side, it's not just about multiplayer games. Like you find, like think about Skyrim.
Yeah.
You know, Skyrim has an amazing community around it, and it's not because there's a bunch of PvP or PvE, right?
Oh, wow. Okay, so it is coming out for the S. Is that what you're saying, Big Mad Mo? Please let a brother know. So is it just no split screen on the S as of right now, and then they're going to update it later? Or is it just not coming to the S right now and they're going to put it on the X? Maybe let me know. I haven't been following Baldur's Gate too closely because I'm just not really super interested in it right now because Starfield. And I'm just not into those types of games that much unless they've been out for a while and they go on a sale or end up in Game Pass, then I'll play them. Like Persona 5, I didn't play that until it hit Game Pass. Even though it was in the PlayStation, I could have played it on the PlayStation, but I just really wasn't interested in it until I seen that X and S enhance because I even knew on the PlayStation it was running at 30 FPS, and 30 FPS isn't the worst, but like I had newer games to play at the time, and I'm not that big in the turn-based, so it was really hard for me. It was really hard for me to really get into it. But I see Gaming Downsides confirming what Big Mad Mo was saying. He says no co-op day one on S, but yeah, it's still coming out. Thank you for confirming that. The both of you, Big Mad Mo and Game Downsides, I appreciate y'all for doing that real quick. Let's go ahead and continue this video and finish this up.
It's people come together for their shared love of the world and the characters and the lore and their role in that. I just think that's a very special part of.
Oh, shout out to Nightwolf22 real quick. I didn't see that he dropped in. He said Baldur's Gate 3 will indeed hit Xbox Series X and S later this year. It just the split screen won't be available on the S. So even Nightwolf coming through and telling me the same thing Game Downsides and Big Mad Mo was saying. So I appreciate you as well, Nightwolf. Thank you so much for saying so.
Gaming, and it's a privilege, I guess, for us at Xbox to have some franchises that are a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And this, what we're seeing here is, I think it fully opens to the public tomorrow and all.
It's the sweatshop tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, this is going to really pop off then.
In here. It's going to be warm.
You got the good day to come and sit here.
I'm here tomorrow. I'm here.
Well,
but yeah, no. Yeah, like, do people know? Like, today is what, the press day, right?
Yes,
is that what they call it? I don't know if that has an official name. I should know, but I don't know. And then tomorrow, the consumers, the players come in. Have you ever seen, like, when they open the
running?
It's ridiculous.
And then eventually at some point, I'm going to stop pointing, but the escalators, and they get so busy.
Yeah.
Every time I come to Gamescom with someone new, I tell them you have to see the running when it opens and the escalators when they're full. It's great.
It's awesome to be back. And I think they feel like this might be one of the biggest Gamescom ever.
It feels it already, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's kudos to the team here
who's kept this going.
Yeah.
They went virtual for a while, but
Mhm.
now we're here back, and there's so many fans and players here. It's like just such a special time.
And it's special for Xbox as well, as we've mentioned a few times on the show already, that it's the 10th anniversary of ID at Xbox.
I have my ID at Xbox.
There it is.
Right there.
He's sporting it. He
Chris
knew what he
Charlotte
was
made me
doing.
wear it.
I'd love for you to reflect on any memories or moments you have from the introduction of ID and how it's gone over the past 10 years.
I'm going to start with a couple things.
Yeah.
One, we always have discussions internally when new things are going to happen on the console. And there's always some different kind of feelings about the impact. When free-to-play came to console, it'll be the end of the console if free-to-play comes to console. Some people think it is. But, clearly the console's still there and free-to-play happened. ID at Xbox. Well, when we have unmanaged partners that are building games on Xbox, what does that mean for a console? Because we started with this silly thing where publishers had 2 slots of arcade games that they could go do. It was like a silly policy in Xbox. Opening it up and allowing anybody who submits and actually has good intent to build a game on the platform has led to some of the best games that have. People forget that Fortnite actually came through ID at Xbox. When you ask about some of the special moments, I have to go to games
Fortnite
from
came
places where we'd never seen
ID at
games for
Xbox.
Xbox.
That's
I remember
tough.
going to the Brazil game show and meeting the devs behind Aritana. I'm probably missing the pronunciation, but it's this. I think it was the first Brazilian.
Dang, Phil just said, watch your mouth when you talk about these indies. Watch your mouth. Fortnite came from ID at Xbox. Watch your mouth.
Developed Xbox game. And it came through ID at Xbox. And this team of guys, we were in Sao Paulo, and they came together, and I met them at the show. And it was so cool just to think it used to be there were 3 places on the planet where games were built. And now you have games coming from all over the place. And people tell their stories through their lived experience and their world.
It's totally different stories, as you say,
Totally
around
is.
the world. Yeah.
Now, whether it's explicit in I'm going to do a game about Brazil, or I'm going to do a game about something else, but through the lens of what I see in the world. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, whether it was Candleman, which I think was the first Chinese-developed ID at Xbox game. I always love when we're finding new ID at Xbox games from new places and new partners. And I just think that's if we're going to find new players, we're going to have more creative, and the mix of those two things, ID has been fundamental. And 10 years ago, announced at
10
Gamescom.
years.
Yeah,
Wowzers.
that's how old I am. Feels like yesterday. Or I don't remember it. I should say I don't remember.
I thought you were saying you were 10 years old then.
No.
It's a great job for a 10-year-old that you've got.
No, no, but it's that it was 10 years ago. And I remember, though, trepidation. What's going to happen when unmanaged developers can build console games? You know what happened? Some amazing things happened.
It did. So another thing that you talk about a lot as well is when you can play games whenever, however, and wherever you want. And I know that's something you really want to give to fans however possible. So I want to know what that commitment looks like both at Gamescom and maybe the months ahead, what that story is going to be.
Interesting.
The critical thing we look at Teams Xbox in terms of our success is how many players.
Yeah.
How many players do we have? And even more and more, how much are people playing? Do we have a platform that has games for kind of all hours of the day? Sometimes you're playing with your family, and what can I do? Sometimes it's just me time, and I want to go do things. And how many players show up? We look at our monthly active players, our daily active players. And when I say on Xbox there, whether you're playing on the cloud and you're streaming to a device that we don't know anything about, whether you're playing on a PC, and as Microsoft, we know something about the PC, or you're playing on one of our consoles. Those are all Xbox players. Or flying over here, I'm playing on my ROG Ally on the airplane. And I think about that as my Xbox away from home or my Steam Deck. I want those things to feel as connected and as complete as an Xbox experience as any piece of hardware that we build. We will continue to focus on hardware. It's an important part of our team and what we can go do.
And what's crazy to me is some people think that's a bad thing, that they're just supported in so many different spots. I think it's crazy that some people think that that's a bad thing, that it's not only on the coveted Xbox. Certain things are only on the coveted Switch or PS5 and you can't play it anywhere else. That that feeling, that dope exclusiveness feeling is starting to fade for gamers. People are starting to realize that majority of people don't really care if it's everywhere or not. Now I get first party exclusives, kind of, sort of, but I really like the way that Xbox is walking out here and doing things, and they're saying even our first party games can be played on so many different devices. Maybe it's not in every other service. Maybe it's only available to this ecosystem, but this ecosystem can be on your TV. It can be on your phone. It can be on a fucking refrigerator. Like, people put Game Pass on the weirdest things and somehow get it to work. And there's some people out there that tell you that make it sound like that's a problem. Like, I tell you what, it'd be so dope if I could pull up my PlayStation games natively on my Steam Deck like I can with the Xbox. Or it'd be the same. I mean, kick PlayStation to the side. It'd be cool to do that with Nintendo without it being like illegal or something like that, or having to use some emulator to have to run it. It'd be cool to be like, oh yeah, I own this game, or oh yeah, it's in this service or whatnot, and just download it and play it, and still be supporting. I'm still supporting that platform. Xbox understands it. The rest of these other platforms are scared to do it, but I'm still supporting you. Could you imagine how much more Zelda would have sold if it was available on PC as well? Just saying. Just saying. If Zelda itself was available on PC, it would have sold much more, I think, for sure. Same with God of War, if that was out day one on PC. I mean, these companies say they want money. Well, why don't they go where the money is? Instead of trying to trick everybody to like, oh, you're going to buy this, and then you're going to buy that, and then you're going to buy this. Well, I tell you what, everybody ain't doing that. Especially people that are on PC, they're not going to jump ship. Like, it's very, in my opinion, it's very rare to get somebody that is downright attached to PC gaming to then go out and buy a console. Usually they're always talking shit about consoles. So why not, instead of trying to bring them over here, you just give it to them over there in a launcher like Xbox or Steam or something like that. It ain't like those businesses ain't got the money to do that. They definitely do. They got the cake. Go on ahead and make it available to more people. Quit being stingy. Quit saying, oh, we'll do it in a little while. Square Enix ass out here talking about Final Fantasy 16. Oh, we ain't even thinking about the PC yet. Well, now you're hurting for money. Now you're hurt. You could take these routes and not have to worry about the worry of, oh man, maybe this ain't gonna make the money that it should, even though the title is large. Like, Final Fantasy 16 should have sold way more than it did. Final Fantasy went on ahead in like in the past, put it on put Final Fantasy on all these different consoles, and then now you're only on the PlayStation again, and you're scratching your head wondering why sales is looking a little funky. Get real. Get real. That's like me opening up shops in New York, Chicago, and LA. And then when I go to reopen everything, and you know, I upgrade, re-innovate everything, I close down the Chicago and New York and only leave open LA. And then I'm wondering why I'm not getting the same amount of money. To me, sometimes business is simple and they make it look difficult. And you know why they make it look difficult? Because of the quick change that they could possibly get. Oh, Sony's going to give me the bag right now. I don't see the foreseeable issue with that. because I'm looking so hard at the bag now instead of what I could possibly get later. My opinion. Let's finish this. 3 more minutes.
But I don't want our hardware to be a limitation on who can actually feel like they're part of the Xbox community. If you buy hardware from us, we're going to do an awesome job supporting you. We want to make sure great games are there. If you have the device that you want to bring and be part of Xbox, we also want that to be 100% great on Xbox. And it's, as you said, it's putting the player's decision on where they want to play at the center of it.
It's just there for them, whichever one they want to
That's
grab
right.
at that time.
And not only is it there, my save game moves with me, my community is there, so I can make progress on any platform I want to play on, and I can grind my characters, I can make my way through the story anywhere I've been. It's one of the best things about Starfield, pointing at it.
That's over there.
Yeah, I've been moving, I play on work, on my PC, when I go home, I sit on my console and I go play, and it's just a continuous experience for me, and everything moves. It's fantastic.
Amazing. So I also want to know, while we are here, is there anything you're particularly excited about trying, either on the booth, off the booth? What have you got your eyes on?
Well, S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 was one, so it was great to get to sit and talk to the team yesterday and just connect, right, and see how they're doing. I have this funny thing with Ed Boon, where Ed and I have known each other for a long time, head of the team behind Mortal Kombat, but we tend to cross ourselves on stage all the time. It happened last night at OLN.
Congratulations last night, by the way. Smashed
But
it.
accepting an award that team did on like an Xbox.
Yeah, but
I didn't do
you
it.
accepted it so well, Phil. Well done.
Thanks. I'm very good at coming out with a trophy and a microphone and accepting an award for work that other people did. And that team did awesome work. But I want to get over with Mortal Kombat. We had the same thing at, I still call it E3, though no one else does, but that June event, our showcase, but also I think he was in Keeley's, the Play Days thing, which was great. But we tend to fly by. So I saw him on stage because he was on, I think, right after me as I was coming off stage, which is how we normally spend time together. But really great third parties here. And I know I'm supposed to pick some obscure indie game, but I want to sit down with Ed and get my hands on Mortal Kombat, so I'm hoping I get to do that.
I'm going to recommend to you, if you haven't yet, go play Little Kitty Big City. That's the
I have
one.
not.
That's the one.
I'm not really a cat person, though.
Phil,
no.
You have
Are
to
we gonna
spoil
fight?
it, don't you? So I have to thank you now for the interview, and you've just gone and said you're not a cat person.
I'm a dog person. My dog's name is Oogie.
Oogie?
Oogie, O-O-G-I-E.
Oh, okay.
He's a rescue.
Maybe I'll let you off
He is
then.
the most awesomest dog ever.
Right, fine.
But yeah. It's so big kitty, big city. What would say?
Well, imagine if it was Big Kitty, Little City. That's a game.
Yeah.
Someone make that one. Well, Phil, we got to wrap there. You're absolutely fantastic as always. Thank you for joining us.
You are.
No, you are. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Thank you.
Don't steal too much stuff, and I'm sure we'll speak to you soon.
All right. Well, that was the end of that interview. A lot less weird questions or pressing questions like Destin was asking. I don't want to say he's asking weird questions. He's asking questions that we were all thinking about, but like, obviously he's the type of person to ask them. She was a lot more nice and just wanted to know more about his background with Gamescom. She kept it very, very much more fun than Destin's energy. Destin's energy was a little bit more serious, trying to get to the bottom of things, more or less, compared to what she was doing. All right. Well, the last thing that I wanted to show, which I was going to show the Fallout TV show trailer from Gamescom, but it looks like more people are voting no on showing that off. So before we get up out of here, I'm going to go on ahead and show off at least Jeff Keighley's salty, not happy moment that he had, which in my opinion was tragic. We'll go on ahead and talk about it here in just a moment, and just kind of say what we think about the situation. But yeah, let's just go on ahead and watch it.
Starfield is ever so close, and thank you so much for that spectacular performance. Really appreciate you coming all the way for this. It's true, in just over a week, fans will start to play Starfield in early access on Xbox and PC. Well, I've been lucky enough to start playing it. Don't be jealous. I'm not allowed to say anything about it. Yes, exactly. All right. Well, guys. Okay.
Man, how awkward is that?
Fans
Bro
will start to play
leaning
Starfield
away
in
like
early
bro
access
had
on Xbox
COVID.
and PC. Well, I've been lucky enough to start playing it. Don't be jealous. I'm not allowed to say anything about it. Yes, exactly. All right. Well, guys. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Really disappointed. They're disappointed. That's just so disappointing. This is such a special night for so many developers, and it's really disappointing to see someone act that way. But we're going to move right on with the show. We've got a lot of great games to show you.
And then check this out. So obviously we showed that. We might look at it again just for goofiness reasons. But I posted yesterday just what Jeff Keighley said about that situation, which was clearly embarrassing. But Jeff Keighley put this tweet out shortly after, saying the individual who interrupted our show won't be bothering anyone ever again. What does he mean? That was like the most gangster tweet to just put out. Mr. Jeff Keighley out here telling people that he ain't gonna be a problem again. We taking care of that motherfucker. Tragic. Bro came to the wrong stage. He came to the wrong stage. Jeff put it to him raw. Fatality. I'm telling you. Shit was filthy. Filthy. But, I mean, that shit is embarrassing, man. I'm going to go on ahead just one more time because it's so awkward. I just can't imagine being on stage. And keep in mind, like, this is twice in 2 years that somebody's come up onto his stage and said something or did something that he ain't like. Last year at the Game Awards, it was just some weird dude. I've seen other like TikToks from said dude before, but I don't like follow him for some reason. He trends, and I ended up coming across his videos, and I'm just like, who is this weird dude with the hair? But he came through on Jeff Keighley's show at the Game Awards and said, he's talking about that whole, I want to thank the rabbi, my Jewish rabbi or something like that, Bill Clinton. And that shit was insane. He got drug off the stage, and now we got this
Don't
cat.
Be jealous. I'm not allowed to say anything about it. Yes, exactly. All right. Well, guys. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Really disappointed. They're disappointed.
And see, I think
That's just so disappointing.
I think this same dude was like came on to like some TV show. I thought it was like with Drew Carey or something like that. And said the same thing, GTA 6, GTA 6, GTA 6, GTA 6. And like, I just don't understand that. The Poom what's cracking, comes in here and says they killed the guy. What's cracking, Mr. Joy in the Dark? Thank you for stopping through. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. He says, saying hello to everybody. He says, you should show Code Veronica his trailer. Oh, okay, no. We ain't doing that. We ain't got time for that. Mr. Joy in the Dark also said Jeff should have laid him out. That would have been amazing if Jeff would have just been like, I'm just tired of this shit. I think the next person that comes to stage, Jeff might pull out the gun and just get it over with. I'm done with this shit. No more shows. Pop, pop, pop. Hitting innocent bystanders in the crowd and shit like that. Man, Jeff, has to be pissed that I mean, this is yet another situation for him at one of his shows where he's just trying to be the center of attention. And I don't blame him. I mean, it's his show. Do what you want. You don't have to be you don't got to love him, but you got to respect what he's bringing. He's bringing you video games to see, and people just keep hitting the stage and disrespect him. I couldn't imagine being him and being like, man, I keep trying to help y'all out, and y'all keep trying to attack me during my shows. God damn, that is tragic. Oh man, let me keep it moving in the chat real quick. Miss Joanna Dark also says there needs to be better security. Never know if something worse can occur. Absolutely. I don't understand how after the first one, here now is the second one, and this is still happening. In my opinion, you shouldn't have to need that kind of security. Unfortunately, in the times that we live in, it kind of calls for it, and it's shit. Because people like that asshole screaming GTA 6 or some other asshole walking on stage and saying my rabbi, Bill Clinton or whatever, they're ruining it for the rest of us. They're ruining it for people like me that haven't been to a Gamescom or an E3. The only event that I've ever been to was the Midwest, Midwest Gaming Classic. And it was just with a bunch of classic consoles. That's where I got my 3DO. And I got a few other games, Def Jam Fight for New York. I also got that from over there. So I had a good time, but it was nothing like this where the lights are everywhere. It's dimming. They got presentations out the yin yang. And we got people coming up on stage fucking it up for everybody. So later on, maybe security's way more tighter, or there's less seating, or something stupid. Like, these motherfuckers come out here and ruin shit for everybody. And we think it's funny, and sure, it is kind of funny. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I looked at it, I was like, not again, bro. And I started cracking up. But in the back of my mind, I'm also, remembering that, hey, like, I want to go to shit like this. And shit like this, when it happens, makes digital things look more appealing. You don't have to deal with the crowd. You don't have to hire all these security, do all this extra shit to keep things safe. As funny as it can be, it's really disheartening at the same time. That's all I'm really saying. It's ridiculous. Mr. Joanna Dark says Jeff executed him like the Punisher. LOL. Mr. I almost said Mr. Boogie. Boogie Main says homeboy was looking for his Bill Clinton Game Awards moment. Facts. Big Mad Mo says no more gaming events for youth. Absolutely. He is blacklisted unless he sneaks his way into something, which I don't know. I'm sure you can figure out a way to sneak into something like that. But like, I mean, they looking for that motherfucker at this point. No lie. Ray Cheese says this was justified like the Diablo Immortal joke. Diablo Immortals April Fool's joke. Mr. Joanna Dark says Jeff locked that guy up and made him play. Oh, come on. Why you gotta say Horizon Forbidden West every stream? You coming out here with the mad disrespect for it every single time. And I tell you what, Mr. Joanna Dark, I love it. Because that game is digital NyQuil. I cannot lie. Makes you fall asleep. If you're trying to have a good night's rest, go on ahead and throw on some Horizon Forbidden West. Run around, take a swim, fly that bird. You probably be asleep before you get to your destination. Guaranteed. The Poom says they yeah, I already read that. He said they killed that guy. Ray Chi said should be a PS fanboy to do that in front of Starfield. Yeah, I actually kind of agree with that, bro. I kind of agree. Because I don't think anybody that's a huge Xbox fan was looking to interrupt Starfield. I feel like you're on to something, Raichi, with that. For real. I don't know what Xbox fan would be like, yo, let me come out and try to ruin the moment for Starfield for a little bit. Nuh-uh, We had our seats buckled and we were watching closely. We wasn't interrupting shit. But Dolo Knight comes through and says Phil will have security at the next Xbox event. Oh, he should. He should, because of shit like that. And see that's what I'm talking about. Dolo Knight is you're talking about this bump up in security and like the less like people being less comfortable with having events. That's the shit that we do not want. We do not want that. People need to fucking mind their own business and stop trying to become stars overnight. People out here trying to rush the stage, do dumb shit, run on football fields, streaking and doing all like people are just dying to be famous without putting in the work. That's the thing, is that they want to take a shortcut to big money. And if I can get my face right next to Jeff Keighley saying some dumb shit, I'm going to get 1 million clicks. So that's exactly what these fools are doing. They don't want to do what I'm doing out here and work hard every stream, trying to get more and more people to come through, subscribe, watch the shit, have a good time, conversate with y'all. They don't want to do that. They want to ignore, they want to skip the line pass and just be famous and just do everything from the jump because they're willing to put their lives on the line for fame. And that is absolutely absurd. Dumb as shit. Yeah, but I think you're on to something, Rachie. I like that. Yeah. Again, I'll read it one more time. He said, should be a PlayStation fanboy to do that shit in front of Starfield. I mean, maybe it was a place, maybe Nintendo, maybe I don't know. But I feel what you're saying, because I don't think anybody that likes Xbox was rushing the stage to do that to their biggest game of this generation. It's just no. I find that hard to believe. But yeah, and the last one I read was Dolo Knight's security thing. All right, and then Mr. Joy in the Dark comes through saying that might be the Red Dragon that went on. Oh, come on. I wouldn't be surprised. That man an ass, right? He be acting an ass. Man, I seen somebody on Twitter earlier today, some foxy brother, bend the knee to Starfield, saying that this looks like a good game and he gonna be investing some time into it after talking all that joint about how Starfield's gonna be terrible or flop or whatever he said. I don't know, but Starfield is turning people's heads right now, and I'm loving it. The Poom says that guy last year at least didn't interrupt the show. He didn't. I mean, in a way he did. But like, I see what you're saying. He didn't like stop the flow of it. He almost looked like he was with the team when he walked up there, and then he grabbed the mic and said what he said. He almost, because nobody said shit until he had something to say. And then they're like, what the fuck did he just say? Hold on a second. So yeah, at least the other guy meshed. This guy was just a flat out asshole. He had no patience, no chill. Dolo Knight says Old Dirty Bastard started this all at the Grand. But Old Dirty Bastard was at least famous, bro. Like, I mean, like, sure. Like he like I could see, you know, at the Grammys, them stars and stuff like that be rubbing elbows and, you know, and they be seeing each other backstages, and I know Old Dirty Bastard was a gangster, right? So I'm sure he was making some folks nervous when he walked up on that stage. But it's a different energy when you when you can look at somebody and nobody, including yourself, knows who the hell you are. At least when ODB walked up, they're like, oh shit, what is he about to do? When this dude walked on stage, people was like, security was probably reaching for their guns and shit. I don't think anybody was reaching for their gun when Old Dirty Bastard came to the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different type of energy. That shit is wild, though. I mean, regardless, rushing the stage, whether you're famous or not cool. But when you ain't got a name and don't nobody know you, and you know damn well you ain't supposed to be doing that shit, bro, you lucky you didn't get taken out. Dark Optimus, what's cracking? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you spending your time with me, brother. 2004 all the way. 2004. But anyways, Boogie Main comes through and says he wanted to know about GTA 6 because Starfield isn't coming to PlayStation aside from via YouTube. Disrespect. Y'all being messy over here right now in this chat. Y'all being messy, but if you like it, then I love it. So it's all good. E40 said it best. They want they want that fast quarter. I want that that slow nickel. Everything I got, I worked for. So quit hating on me. Yeah, absolutely. I love that saying. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You looking for that fast quarter? You gonna do some shiesty shit to get it. That's a fact. Flamish, what's cracking? Welcome to the show, bro. Appreciate you for dropping through. Game Down Sight says Jeff should have started swinging. LOL, but really, they need to do some security. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, man. You see somebody approaching the stage when ain't nobody been called to the stage. Like, why did it take him getting all the way up to Jeff Q? It looked like he just walked straight up. Like Jeff seen him coming and he's like, I'm gonna pretend I don't see him. Okay, he's coming right at me. Like it's too late by that time. It's too goddamn late by that time. Somebody should have been there from the jump. Like somebody should have been standing like I don't know. I know you guys can't see where I'm pointing at for it, but somewhere, man, I don't understand how that happens. Like that whole security squad had to have gotten fired. They all took a pay decrease. They ain't saving nobody. Oh man, all right. Dark Optimus. Absolutely not. 2007 was the GOAT. No, it ain't. You stop that, bro. You stop. Anyways, Flam is saying that one guy was apparently on other shows before. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying that he was on like some show, I thought with like Drew Carey or something like that. Or I don't remember. It might have been an overseas show even. The host looked like Drew Carey. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, he was on there talking about not Final Fantasy, GTA 6 over and over and over to the point where like the two people that were hosting the show were just like, yeah, I've heard of it, but what are you talking about? Like, why do you keep talking about GTA 6? So yeah, that dude's just freaking weird, and he's just looking for clicks. He's just an asshole. He might be actually interested in GTA 6, but ain't nobody that damn interested. He needs to sit his ass down. He said over 2 years ago with the same question. So this man's been, I mean, maybe he going for that slow nickel, but he fucking up. Because he's been doing it for some time. Oh, man. The Poom comes in, and this is the last, or actually the Game Downsides, this will be the last one I read. The Poom comes through and says that guy is banned for every Jeff event or Jeff future event. That's for sure. Absolutely. Game Downside says, says, yo, Dark Autumn. All right. That's what's you remind them of the Def Jam icon. Yeah, you took that L just because of that, Dark Optimus. Let's not go back into that. Let's not. I can't believe you were on your hill so hard, Dark Optimus, that you were willing to say that Def Jam icon, which came out in 2007, was better than Fight for New York, just to spite my year of gaming that I call the GOAT, which is 2004. 2007 was fire. I gotta give it to you. You definitely advertised right. 2007 was a fire year in gaming. K Mega was talking about 98. That was a fire year in gaming. But you just cannot use Def Jam icon to protect nothing. That game is trash. Ain't nobody trying to play that. That game was ass. It stunk. All right. But anyways, so I go back to the poll and I said, should I show the Fallout TV show trailer from Gamescom? And 82. So it was 100% no the last time I seen it, but it was only at a couple votes. Now it's at 82% yes to go on ahead and show it. So I'm just going to go on ahead and knock it out, and we're going to close out the show with that. And if you want to check your boy out, because I'm going to go ahead and do my sign out now, because as soon as this is over, I'm out. So yeah, if you want to check me out, you'll see me tomorrow on Bull Sitting with me, Loke. K Mega is going to be making an appearance. Matt Likes Games. Cozy's still doing her work training, so she won't be available. So it'll only be the four of us, me, K Mega, Loke, and Matt Likes Games. As for next week, the crossover podcast will be on K Mega's channel on Monday, so it won't be here on TSWS. It'll be on K Mega 405 channel, where you can see GRG every Friday. You'll see the crossover there on Monday. On Tuesday, the lowdown with me and Loke on this channel, TSWS Gaming. And then Behind Them Sticks will be making its resurgence next week, starting with Chris. I believe it's Chris Jones is his last name, but he goes by Lord Chris. Because he's a senior writer for the Lords of Gaming.net, you know, the Iron Lords and all those guys and whatnot. Dope dude. Can't wait to speak with him. The week after that will be Post Up, and we'll continue to have shows. I even have a gaming person that studied the psychology of gaming that's going to be on midway next month. So I have some pretty damn interesting interviews coming through. You guys make sure that you come through and support your boy. Remember that memberships are available for only $2 to get a membership for this channel, which will give you the opportunity to use emotes, also to be part of the drawing that we do every Friday, which I told you, I'm not sure if you were listening earlier, Raichi, but you need to hit me up on my personal Twitter, HamSolo05 Gaming, so we can set something up, seeing that I could not find a Canadian Steam $10 gift card to send to you. But if any of the rest of you guys watching today want to be part of that drawing, please join the members for only $2 a month. Show up on Friday. Talk your stuff in the chat. Have a good time for us. And if you end up being one of the most fun people to talk with in the chat, you may get chosen for that $10 gift card. But anyways, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Make sure you check out this sneak peek real quick of the Fallout trailer that's going to be coming out. I think it's like next year or something like that. Now, Todd Howard said that he wasn't planning on anybody else really seeing this except for the people at Gamescom, but this was shared onto Twitter. It hasn't been taken down from there. I shared it on my TikTok. Hasn't been taken down on there. So I'm going to go on ahead and show it here. And if I get some sort of copyright claim, I'll just erase the video. It's no big deal, because I care about those of you that came here and watched this now. And if it just so happens to be the people that come through later don't get to see it, that's on them. But anyways, you guys have a great rest of the night. Enjoy this last little video. And as I always say, it's your boy Ham Solo from TSWS Gaming, telling you to keep it gaming or keep it moving. Peace out.
Is the movie Interstellar, written by Jonathan Nolan, goes by Jonah. And I got to know Jonah, and I always wanted to make a Fallout TV show. So I talked to Jonah about it, and we have been making the Fallout TV show that's coming, and we thought just for you all here in this room, we would give you a little sneak peek of the show. This is a very early sneak peek. We don't plan on ever putting this out. There'll be bigger teasers later, but we'd love to hear what you think about it. And here we go. Thanks. You know, one of the things, the movies that inspired Starfield